Welcome back to PGL Cluj-Napoca 2025. The last quarter final of the day is about to get underway. It's between FaZe versus SAW. So I asked the panel, do you want to play a game?
Good one, Rich.
Workshopped it.
I don't even know if half the audience here has watched that one, unfortunately.
SAW?
They're pretty young nowadays, you know?
Classic.
I guess that is a pretty popular horror film, I think.
Yeah, well, it is Counter-Strike fans too, so they're a little older.
Listen, and there's a whole franchise, but anyway, if we're talking about horror shows, we can talk about what happened at SAW just before this tournament. That was what I was setting up, Maui. You're off the desk next time. That was terrible. Right, anyway. So, no, what has happened to them is the worst thing that can happen before you go to a big tournament, one that you're hoping to maybe get a few upsets in. You just get told, yeah, this roster's dead, by the way, guys, but sorry, we booked the tickets. Just go do it. And that's what's ended up happening. And by the way, I read an interview coming into this where one of the players, I think it was Roman, said, oh, no, we found out about it, like, pretty much just before we went. Like, as we were traveling, essentially. So, I don't really know what to make of SAW. Like, the reality, guys, is they shouldn't be in the playoffs.
I mean, SAW has been a perpetual free fall for a while now. I mean, you look ever since they decided not to play our Aerodose at the RMRs, and they wound up not making the major because of it. And then, obviously, he was out of the team, and then Jerks eventually leaves the team as well. And they go pair up, and they go play on an IP. And this team has never been able to really find the talent they needed to replace what they lost. Like, Story, solid opper, but they really lost two huge, big rifling pieces. Yeah. And they just haven't really been able to fully recover. But at this tournament, they have somehow defied the odds. They beat 3D Max to find themselves here on this stage in the quarterfinals, and that has to be commended.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And I'll certainly say this. It is an odds-defying story to beat 3D Max. That did not look on the cards at all. They were given complexity as well, though, you know, so it all evens out.
They're playing incredibly well to punish, Richard. Anytime a new team is coming into them and they don't have their protocols outlined, they miss a smoke, they miss a flash. I will say, people like Story, people like SHR, they've played to punish fantastically well. In fact, the way that they dismantled complexity was just if there's a single gap in that smoke, Story is not the flashiest opper, he's not the craziest, but he'll find those kinds of gaps. And that's really all it takes sometimes, is that you're just making less mistakes than your opponents. And I can say that SAW winning the last 3 series in the fashion that they did, that's really what jumped out at me. It just felt like they were playing a more airtight style, whereas the guys on some of those other teams, 3D Max complexity, they let the pressure get to them, and they missed a couple nades.
Yeah. And you know, look, the dead team buff is a very real thing. You know, when the pressure's off, like, what are you really playing for? Like, your next contract, I guess. I
mean, it certainly helped SHR out, and he's been playing the best Counter-Strike I've seen him play since he joined this team in this tournament. I mean, he was supposed to be Jerks replacement. He was supposed to be that aggressive rifling star, and he really struggled to fill those shoes. But these last couple of series against 3D Max and Complexity, he has played very, very well. And Story has hit heights he never really reached last year. I mean, again, he was kind of like their 3rd star as an opper, but now he's really, you know, done some heavy lifting at this tournament.
And the VRS forecasts tell a potentially sad story, because as you can see, SAW, if they do lose this one against FaZe, which, let's be real, that is likely, they're going to go down to 20th. There's already been some chatter online that if they don't do well here in Cluj, that there could be a chance maybe SAW decide to temporarily shutter, maybe don't have a team. We're going to wait and see. It would be a loss, because I think, you know, I've always had a lot of respect and time for the Portuguese scene, obviously coming from a Source background. Historically, they had some good rosters back in the day. So, and I used to love the, you know, the XL LAN parties and stuff they had out there. So I'm hoping that we can see a resurgence of SAW. It's just, it's not going to be
they can't be upset. They've already by far exceeded expectations just by making these playoffs in my books, and they don't lose any ranking. Like, even if they lose this game, they remain in the same spot. That's pretty good considering your team is technically dead and you're having to build a whole new roster after this event anyway.
Well, but a tall order, Maui.
Of course, and we're going to see what they're able to accomplish here, because, I mean, actually, Muterus talked about it, that the next iteration of this lineup is just going to be international. Like, they can't keep digging into the Portuguese scene, which I find to be a bit of a surprise.
Hey, what's up, bro?
SHR, one of the guys that's likely to be leaving this roster, like, he's been really good. So I'm not sure if there's a little bit of buyer's or seller's remorse that is for their upcoming team and what they're going to be
watching the
we just have to see the
FaZe versus SAW quarterfinal.
Claim that this is better or worse without seeing or knowing what's coming next.
Well, we move on to FaZe, their opponents, and overall favourites for the tournament. It's been a bit of a mixed bag since the Leeds joined. The majority of it good. There have been 1 or 2 weaknesses that we've seen, particularly Nuke, which we're going to see if that that comes out in the veto a little bit later. What's the Maui grading so far for the new
From
low phase release?
Turkey.
Well, it's
Oh,
actually
you're
not
from
been that
Turkey.
great. This is the one tournament where they're finally showing
From
up. At
Eternal
the last
Fire,
bounty,
most of the
they
time
didn't
support
actually
FaZe.
even make it
Yeah.
out of the online
Eternal
portion of
Fire
that
played
event.
well.
They lost to Pain in an online elimination match, and of course at
yeah.
Katowice they were unable to actually make
But
the
they
playoffs
lost
as
to
well.
Falcons,
So
which is
finally,
unlucky.
We're seeing FaZe Clan in an arena. This is what everybody came to see. That's why we have the fans in the building right now. They came for FaZe Clan, and they're finally
I think FaZe
making
should
it
beat
work.
Saul.
The Liege is working so well with the team
Hopefully.
this time around. First couple tournaments, there were growing pains between people like Rain, Kerrigan, a lot of spot switching, and now it feels like finally Kerrigan's starting to put the pieces together.
I mean, and even with those growing pains, they still beat G2 and took a map off of Vitality. And they had a pretty tight series against Eternal Fire on that nuke game that went into multiple overtimes that knocked them out of Katowice. So
The
even at their
Stolper.
weakest, which is why I would argue they were at the time, they were still pretty competitive. But now they have been able to
Yeah,
have
I'd
more
say.
time to gel, you know, move things around. And let's be honest, they beat some pretty good teams to get here. I mean, yeah, Saul, I guess, was like an easy first opponent, which is going to be a rematch we're going to see here on the stage. But they had to play Eternal Fire and Mouse Sports to get to this quarterfinals, and they played really well in those series. So tip your hat to them. They've been on a positive trajectory for sure.
For me, the real story in FaZe, though, is how Frozen has found form again. Look, there's going to be a lot of attention on Elige. It's a big signing. When Rox was announced to be leaving,
Yeah,
I'm
I think
sure
Frozen's
FaZe
been the
fans were really
MVP of
despondent.
this team.
And getting Elige, that alleviates some of that. But what you've gained since Rox has left is ultimately the return of Frozen, who was, by the way, really, really good at the start of last year. People seem to forget it wasn't all bad, but he got a lot of flack for what happened in Shanghai. A lot of people were blaming him, and that hasn't been fair. It's been a bit of a crucible for him to overcome, but now he's back. That's
Honestly,
good.
I came from the
I
picture
actually
of
think
Brokey on
Frozen's in a
that
great
now.
position
Yeah.
right now on this team with the makeup that they have on their
It's like it's a
roster,
classic
because
photo. I
Luke
love
really
that one.
hasn't changed too much about the positions he played. I think the only map they changed his spots were Nuke, where he took over lobby and ramp on the TNT side. But every other map he gets to play basically where he played before. I think the other thing that really helps him is like now not only do you have Kerrigan and Rain as aggressive riflers that you can kind of trade frag
I
behind.
bumped the
Well, now you got
volume
Elige
up.
too. You know, he'll buddy up with Elige sometimes and just trade frag behind him. And so you've taken Frozen, and he used to kind of be their more active extremity player, with Rots being the more passive one. And now it's kind of shifted because now they have Rain playing a lot of extremities, who is a natural born entry fragger. So I think it's just given Frozen even more room, in my opinion, to be able to tuck into that mid to late round position and not have to be relied upon to create any openings.
It's early days here, but Elige and Frozen are really showing right now that they might be one of the best rifle duos in the scene, okay? Elige, like Dust said, is going to be taking that space, but Frozen's spacing on trading, the consistency he has with trading, the fact that he's incredibly clutch on top of that, I would argue he's actually more clutch than Rops. I would argue he's more clutch than many of the riflers that we have at this tournament. He probably is. In fact, if I just had to kind of make a general statement, he is the most clutch rifler here.
Perhaps.
Yeah, he is the most clutch rifler here. So when he has a guy, or he has three guys, as a matter of fact, that are willing to take space, take openings, now if you see a late round with him and Brokey, it's lights out. It's been lights out for everybody against them at this one.
Yeah, and look, talking about Brokey as well, I mean, that's where the question marks go to now on FaZe. People are excited about Elige and what that might look like when they finally get the map pool hashed out. Frozen's back. You've got Kerrigan, the GOAT IGL, everyone loves him. Rain is Mr. FaZe. So naturally, when results don't go your way, someone's got to carry the can. A lot of the time, it does seem to be Brokey. How do we feel about that narrative?
I think that's a fair point to make. He certainly had his moments last year where he really did seem to suffer, but let's not forget, Rops kind of took the spotlight because of how incredibly he played in Shanghai to help FaZe make their way to the grand finals. But I think people do sometimes forget that Brokey also played fantastic throughout, you know, a lot of those last couple of series they played in the playoffs, and actually gave them a chance to really push that grand final even further against Spirit. And I think so far coming into this year, at least at this event, and even some of the times at Kato, he actually has looked pretty solid. You know, again, I think a little bit of pressure gets taken off of him when he has an extra aggressor on the team like Elige.
I mean, Brokey's the most hot and cold player ever. I mean, you get
already, bro.
you know, lights out Brokey doing things
wanna
that
watch it.
only Prime Simple was able to do, and then you have the other
wanna watch
version of
the gameplay.
Brokey, and I've seen this guy take more shots on Nuke's vent ladder than any other player in Tier 1 CS. It's like, come on, relax, dude. Like, you need to sometimes set yourselves up for a good fight, because sometimes the mechanics get him into trouble. He's seen himself make the most unbelievable plays that any opper could possibly make, and then he constantly has that sort of blind faith in himself. And I think Kerrigan loves that, but also probably at times wishes he could reel it in a little bit more. So at this tournament, it really has been pretty smooth sailing in my eyes. I don't think he's really had to hit that just unbelievable level that we sometimes see out of him. But if push comes to shove, he's going to be the better opper in the server today.
And of course, the big narrative talking point is like FaZe really do need to win this one. I think maybe in the future, just hearing stuff behind the scenes without bringing it to the broadcast, you know, there's probably a chance FaZe might sit out 1 or 2 events in future as well. They're going to want to get this one in the bag, and then we'll see what the future might bring. They're the clear favorites left. I think it's a really savage indictment of where they would be if they weren't able to beat the remaining field in the tournament, frankly.
If they didn't win this, Richard, it'd be a disaster.
Yeah.
Half the people here wouldn't even show up tomorrow. Come on, what are we talking about? We get an Assault game versus, what, Falcons? This is going to, like, people would just be lost,
Hey,
okay?
Falcons were like the home team.
I don't even know how we're going to guide the action tomorrow if we get that one, okay? No, people bought their tickets for FaZe Clan because EMA didn't show up, and they want Kerrigan to get to the grand finals here. I mean, this would be a Herculean effort for Saw to even take a map off of them. We'll see what the veto unfolds and how it shows us like what's possible here, but this is anything but like 1 to 10 odds, I think, is an understatement for how much of the favorites FaZe are.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where Saul had
Yeah, this is
commended for
interesting
what they were able
because,
to achieve. They went down 0-2 in groups.
like,
They looked like they would be one of the last teams out. They were in such a
yeah,
dire
this is
position
interesting
because of the
because
situation that they're in right now,
we
that they
beat Saul
marched their
in
way all the way
groups,
back into the
and
playoffs appearance. And sure, they beat a
it
couple of
was,
weaker teams
I think
in
first
that,
map was
but,
actually
you know,
kind of
whatever
close,
beat Max is
but
pretty legit to me, especially because of the situation that Saul are facing. So, yeah, I think they've
yeah,
already
I
done
mean,
more than enough
there's
in my
always potential
opinion.
for an
Yes,
upset no
FaZe
matter
are the
what
heavy
the
favorite. Anything
roster's
they
really
do now
going
is just a
through.
bonus, but I will commend them what
But-
they've done so far, but it's now time to leave.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Take care, drop by sometime. Alright, cheers, brother. Have a good one.
Absolutely fair.
I'll be here.
Agree with you. So now we're going to go over to the stage.
Have a good
James
day or
Benson
night.
can introduce
I don't know
the
what
team.
time it is in Turkey.
Thank you very much, Richard. We're down to our last quarter-final game. Cluj, are you with me? You've been keeping the energy nice and high all day long, but I want to see you really raise the roof for this one. So give it to me. Let's hear it! That's more like it.
Thank you.
Now our
No
first
worries,
team, they're coming in with a new look. Rejuvenated, some might say. They added a North American talent, and they even didn't struggle in the group stage, which they normally do. This is a team that only has one thing on their mind, one thing that they're used to, and it's winning that trophy just behind me. Give it up for FaZe Clan!
Yeah, them boys. Hey, let's go Frozen. That's my boy.
Looking to continue their spree of upsets is a team that came into this event looking to make roster moves. They were a dead team walking, but they continued to power through from 0-2 to make it here to the playoffs. Can they continue this Cinderella run? Well, we're about to find out. Make some noise for Saw!
Everybody fucking booed him, bro. That's so sad. Yeah, bro. Just don't underestimate them. I think that's all we just need to do. I just think we need to not underestimate them at all. So we'll see.
Our teams have taken to the stage. Carrigan, Mutiris, come join me up here. Rain, you can come as well if you want, man. You can do whatever the hell you want. Now, Carrigan, you went through this group stage, 3-0. It's not what normally happens for you guys. Must be a pretty good feeling.
Also a strange feeling. I'm just happy that I had a less stressful days the last few days. So yeah, we're ready to play, and obviously we haven't been fully tested, but we know what Saw can do. We saw that in Cologne, so we're not underestimating this time.
Yeah, you had that problem before, but it's a very different Saw, who you also beat in the group stage. But given what they've been able to do here, given the fact they fought back from 0-2, you have to give them that respect, right?
Going 0-2 to 3-2 is very hard for any team out there, and especially when you think about maybe some of the players, we all know they're getting switched, so they're playing for honor. And when you play against a team that plays so much for honor and the last ride, it's always going to be a tough game. So I'm just looking forward to play.
I'm looking forward to see it go down as well. Now for Mutiris, when we spoke at the beginning of the event, you said you didn't really know what was going on or what you were supposed to do. The pressure is off now, and it seems to be working out. So how is the feeling when you all step onto this stage today?
Well, I mean, the feeling, it's a bit the same, I think. I think we did something unexpected. But yeah, coming to the playoffs, I think we just need to enjoy. We are playing against a great team. So that's what we're going to do, and I hope that we can do a good fight against them.
I want to see a good fight from you guys. You have shown it in a lot of these games. But in terms of your leading and how you're leading the team now, are you leading in a different way? Do you feel more relaxed, more comfortable doing it because it's been this kind of a crazy run?
I mean, when we are in this crazy... I mean, the team, it's not the way I want, I would say. So, yeah, it's kind of crazy calling like that, but like I said, we just want to enjoy and do our best. So, yeah, let's see.
Lovely. Let's see how it goes between the games. The fist bumps are in. You can take your seats and get ready for the match. And Saw have certainly earned everyone's respect with what we've been doing here. Have we got some Saw fans in the house? And then maybe looking at FaZe. And I think just everything right now, all of your energy for Counter-Strike. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Not used to seeing these respectful exchanges in interviews. It's like Maui on a first date. Gentlemen all round. So anyway, what did you make of that?
I mean, I love what Kerrigan says there, though, about playing for honor, okay? I love to honor my dates, too, when possible. Thankfully, I only have one now.
All of them.
One queen. I have one queen now. Okay, we're going to move on from that, though, Richard. Not enough about my dating life. Enough about what makes this one romantic, okay? Because when we look at this Saw team, we see a swan song of what they were in the past. Roman on the team for over 5 years. This guy is 32 years old. I'm going to be completely honest with you, Richard. This might be his last stage game ever, okay? So I want to just hear it out for Roman in terms of just what he's going to be able to accomplish, what he has done with this roster in general. And I really do think that even if this is the last stage game we play or with Roman or get to see with Roman, I think he's given a lot to Portuguese Counter-Strike.
Yeah, that's a very good point. And by the way, I mean, you know, Mutiris said it in that interview. He's like, look, we've already upset everybody doing what we've done. We feel the same way as if it was a group stage game. And here you are playing FaZe on the stage. Let's get into the veto.
Bans were exactly what we thought they were going to be. What'll be interesting is the picks. I think Nuke would be a target for Saw. That's been one of their best maps and been one of the maps that FaZe have kind of been struggling to adapt into their map pool. So I wouldn't mind that. FaZe picking Ancient, that's definitely been one of their strengths. They're 4-0 with this roster on Ancient, so I'm not surprised to see that come out as their pick.
And then Saw pick going back to the tried and tested Nuke. This is the exact same sort of start that we got from both these teams in the last one.
Saw can win on you. That was the point I was trying to make earlier.
There is a possibility, Richard, and Decider on Dust 2 right there. I mean, all in all, what we saw in the first matchup between these teams on Ancient, on Nuke, showed that FaZe was the better team. Saw is going to have to play better today. They're going to have to control Elige in the middle of the map there. And I like that Saw have shown that they are actually something to worry about when it comes to Nuke. You can't take them too lightly on that one.
Yeah, but you're going to have your hands full with this first map coming up on Ancient. FaZe have looked so ferocious with this lineup on this map. They have been able to adapt their lineup to it very quickly. And again, they're 4-0 on the year. they've been able to essentially take their T side and just load up their players. Just have, Frozen and Elige taking mid together. Have Rain and Elige taking B together. Whatever the case may be, they're playing very aggressive and in-your-face Counter-Strike. Kerrigan, he's just roaming and being the glue that the team needs to be. He needs him the whole day, he'll go a whole day for you while you do your things on mid and B. You need him to help lead a hit, he'll do that too. Just showing the incredible amount of flexibility all across this map. And then you get that same Frozen and Elige combo defensively at middle.
Yeah.
And that is such a powerful front to try to get past. They are so effective on dictating the pace of that area of the map, and that's going to lead into a lot of success, I think.
The only thing I'm curious about is, okay, again, I'm peeking at their monitors right there, and we got FaZe picking Ancient, but it looks like they're starting CT side. Is that what we're getting? Is that what we just saw there? I mean, either way, I mean, you did set it up though, Dust. I mean, the fact that Frozen and Elige are in middle, I think that's on both sides of the map actually. And so at this point, like that's the problem. That was the problem for Saw last time. Elige was literally one-tapping people through middle smokes and just getting kills that Saw couldn't deal with. If they can't control that part of the map, they will have to do something on the extremities.
It's going to be very difficult to do that too, though, because you look, Frozen's going to be able to anchor that A side off mid if mid's not being taken, or Brokey will be able to anchor it with the AWP. And you got Rain parked at the B bomb site. Is very good at playing that ramp position and just playing very effectively with Kerrigan. So I think they're going to have their hands full. I think what Saw has done to allow them to be effective and make these playoffs is by playing simple contact Counter-Strike. Keeping a group up together, letting SHR lead, and then letting Agile kind of trade in behind. And then Story, just let him play intuitive with this op. He's been playing really well, making great decisions. That's their win conditions if there's ever going to be any.
SHR, a player that's going to be dropped after this tournament, though, also, he's really struck me. He's been a guy that I honestly didn't have too much familiarity with, but the more I watch him, the more I actually like it. The more I actually see him, the more I actually feel like Saw are making a mistake. That's also what I think SHR needs to prove in the server today, that even if the game plan doesn't go well, that he can be an asset to this team. He makes very few mistakes in terms of deaths, makes a lot of great choices on his rotations in terms of his defensive sides. Watch his demos. Aim is crisp, man. So honestly, keep an eye out for him and just see if he can make a statement.
All right, then. Well, if the deck is stacked against Saw, it's time to draw a pair of Canadian Kings. Take it away, Scrawny and Launders.
Let's go FaZe.
Thank you, gentlemen. Another excellent pregame, another stage set. A king and a queen ready to take you guys through this one. Mohan, how are you feeling? Because we've already talked about how FaZe become this beast once the playoff starts, and we've already seen this exact same map between these exact same teams. A 13-2 loss for Saw last time around.
Starting 4B.
Could it
Fast
get
mid.
worse?
Oh, Frozen.
It potentially could, but at least they're starting on a different side. This is Saw having FaZe start on CT and trying their hand at the offense first. But right away, they get blocked out of their idea. This was going to be a straight tactic.
Oh, okay, Elige.
Hit on the A site. And now Elige, who was a nightmare for them on T side last time, will be here aggressing from the top of Cave.
I think you can anticipate this pretty frequently. Elige kind of taking a chunk out of Saw last time around, as the desk alluded to. The reminder of the one taps that were had. Elige's mechanical level, just something you can never really question. And something that he has definitely brought to the table since donning this FaZe jersey.
The thing is, if
we get real slow here.
It's a lock-off, and Brokey's probably a little uncomfortable because he can't really see anything except for this.
If Brokey goes down, then
Kerrigan. As long as he's here in a
pretty
5v5, he's doing his job.
But 40 seconds, yeah, they're grouping up to go
Patience
A.
is key. Saw looking to attack from another position first.
Oh, nice. Nice shot,
that's
Frozen.
the tap they're looking
nice,
for.
Brokey got
connecting
his.
onto Story. That's the red room cut off, and nothing but CT kills till that happens. A jumping SHR, a Gush now into Temple.
Oh, they have to
but it's
cancel
a
the plan.
fast move out from Elige. Man advantage taken for just a moment there for Saw. Bomb gets dropped on the corner of the bomb site, and we're currently sitting at now 15 seconds. It's always going to be difficult to put this bomb down when there's no smoke or cover on Donut. Could come down to kills. And at the end of the day, there's not a lot of health left there for FaZe, but it's a CT pistol win nonetheless.
You can see that Saw were actually correct about every position they paused in. That the site hit could still come out, but Brokey was so incredibly patient in his quartered position, and he's the one who you would expect might get a little nervous. But I think since Frozen got his first kill, that's when the power went back to FaZe. And Frozen will be, I think, the story of the match here for the event. Elige might have been a star last time on Ancient, but Frozen has been playing his best CS.
Okay, so you can
with him on this roster.
Alright, grouping up towards A.
We're seeing incredibly impactful moments in many different ways from Frozen, from positioning to utility to frags.
Tested here. Oh, Frozen's there with him as well.
Expect to get a show today. Ooh. Oh, wow.
What the hell did we
maybe
just
it's going to be the Deke show, actually. SHR with a zinger.
Shit, took down range. Fuck.
Takes a gush back, but it's through the cement, so give him a little bit more of a chance. MP9 commits. No way, Frozen's gone. No way. Calm down. Almost a third kill there, but it just primes Brokey nicely. He flexes out for the MP9, gets caught on the jump up. He's going to make sure that this one gets converted.
That's all right.
And I think FaZe just showing us that they're ready to bare teeth if need be.
That was funny. Yeah. He like saw one, dipped back, came back in when he saw he was full blind, even though 2 other guys were still shooting at him. Obviously, they were just using pistols, but yeah. In this match, again, where they're trying a rematch on the same 2 maps, but at least they're trying a different side. Last time, the T side was so brutal from FaZe, Saw didn't even get to try T rounds. So, in theory, FaZe know nothing about this T half.
Oh, fast A.
See if it's a switch up that creates a boon early. Brokey, gonna hear that rush. Not even trying to mask this approach.
Nice,
Ooh, through the smoke though, down goes Story. And Story has kind of been that saving grace at times for Saw. Okay. We'll see how his game gets going, but right now it's a Liege with a follow-up frag. Bomb to be planted by Roman. At the very least, you've got that. A little bit of extra money and a chance with this late walkout. Mutiris able to catch one to bring this down to just a one-man advantage. Up close, insight is SHR looking for more. He's got himself a double kill. Liege out from Temple brings one off, and it puts Kerrigan into an early clutch attempt. First gun round here for Saw, they just go barreling into the A site, and Mutiris out from middle with critical kills to get Saw on this board early.
I mean, Brokey came back with a plan to clear him out, and he was so ready for that. Perfect spray from him, maintaining middle control, and what more can you ask for here from Saw? That's a vicious A attack, and it's ultimately a 3v5, right? The kills through the smoke is the best part of the round out of FaZe.
The second one from SHR. Swift headshots for his dub. Ooh.
Oh, it's like that.
That's a nice shot by Matiris.
He said we're gonna try to have fun.
FaZe got to lock in because like Desk is saying that
keep it light.
It's
Kerrigan off to the races with a 5-7. Looks like fun. Trying to gun around with the sidearms. Mutiris out from middle, climbs up. And if he's worried about Kerrigan at the bottom of the ramp, well, guess what? There's a Cade player right here to help. Kerrigan's in the middle.
He's going crazy.
This guy's got 3 kills already. 4th one queued up. You could be watching a Kerrigan ace. If not for him running the other direction.
No, come on back, Kerrigan.
Nah. A real leader.
All the way back. Come on back, Kerrigan.
He eats well, and then he's going to let his
oh my gosh, Kerrigan's going all the way around. Oh, he could get the ace. He could get the ace. Oh my god.
Just a little meat for the plebs.
What am I saying?
Kerrigan gets his and dips. A 5-7 into an AK-47, and that rifle shines. You know, I think it was pretty evident from the pregame with the crowds lean towards FaZe. Everybody here tonight, including FaZe, is kind of just here to celebrate FaZe and watch Saw get bullied somewhat. Everybody could have fun if this is lopsided again, except for Saw.
Yeah, this is a game. Well, I mean, again, going 2-3 in groups, that's something that other teams that were expecting to be better than Saw couldn't do. It's pretty miraculous to see what they managed to accomplish. Even though they did lose to FaZe and Astralis for that 0-2. 2 of the teams that made it here to playoffs.
The thing with that Saw run, though, is that they beat 2 of the teams who just love losing in Complexity and in FlyQuest. And then 3D Max, a team who hasn't quite figured out how to win all the time either.
Yeah, that's true.
Damn.
Yeah, there's no arguing this.
But I mean, you know, when Complexity lost to Saw, I was like, oh, this is going to be their first series that they win.
Sure.
You know, their second series on land, whatever it is. And then when they 3D Max, like, oh, 3D Max, they got the luckiest draw here. You know, they're going to make it into playoffs.
And choke.
And as Richard kept pointing out, like their nuke is actually real. Sure. You know, regardless of everything else, their nuke works.
Well, then maybe we'll give him a bit more of a thought once we come to the second half of the series. Right now, Kerrigan, he's kind of invited this rush forward, put a bit of pressure on Rain. That's fine. Turns it around. Glock wallbang. Ooh, and a Tech9 holds the flank. Frozen getting a
2v3.
little rambunctious.
Yeah, they all are. I mean, they're
2v3.
coming at it with this pace.
Of course.
And they, I think,
Okay,
well, for the most
there's
part, it's
bomb.
working out pretty well.
Got bomb.
But it does mean that some of these rounds are getting traded down.
Well, it's an AK picked up
Oh, Liege might
due
get
to that
caught.
flank frag.
Liege don't.
And you've got a Liege just waiting, knowing that they're up inside that cave, and he's not wrong about it. Minute here as they sit on top of the bomb that was dropped with the second frag from Rain. Oh, that's so good.
Goodness.
Yes.
Hey, excuse me?
Dude, it's been
Dude, what a
silent for 30
lucky-ass
seconds.
shot. Okay.
Oh, Story's going to get taken out.
No, that's
SHR
crazy.
wall bang back, but that kill,
What angle was that?
Let's celebrate that
exactly. Yo. That was illegal SHR. Very nicely done.
Damn, SHR.
Yeah. Yeah, as Maui said,
He's
his
about to get
goal
traded
here
to a
is to
different
prove that
team,
this is a
but he's on.
mistake, you know, to let him go after this match. And we have seen amazing moments from him. Bro, every
Dude.
bullet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, I'm with you, Liege. What the fuck?
No problem.
I'm with you, bro. What the fuck was that?
All good.
first tag pause coming out from Saw. As the gun rounds be put back in.
Guys, maybe we should have started CT side.
I do like the change-up. I mean, again, you've
yeah.
just been 13-2'd in
the
the
one
very
thing.
same event. Like, why not shift it up a bit?
Yeah, definitely.
Frozen.
Definitely. I
Frozen
wonder,
nice.
like, FaZe
Eddie.
like have gotten a little time off in between playoffs, and things have been changing so rapidly for them with like all the adjustments that they make. But it feels like the way they ended off in groups, you wouldn't see any more changes. You know, they've got spots that I think they like now. At least they're starting to work. I think there's still some maps like Anubis, which we won't see today.
All right.
That we'll see tested more by other teams.
All right,
Maybe they'll
heavy
make
mid
some
pressure.
changes there.
Yeah, just flooding mid. They don't have anyone
For the
A to
moment,
start
it's still
off.
Kerrigan playing
They're
Cave now.
working A
Rain
main.
switching with him and playing as the
Yeah.
Perma B anchor.
Ooh, just gotta be careful. Okay. The Liege is rotating to CT, Temple.
And
No,
Frozen
CT.
in his happy place out here in middle.
What? Oh, he's gonna be tested.
I wonder if they
Let's
heard that.
Get a timing.
There's a double layered lurk here inside of middle. I mean, Frozen's going to have a lot of
Yeah.
pressure, but there's also a Cave player or
Well,
Donut
it's-
player to help him out.
Liege going for the spray down on the boost up. Spots the Opper as well. Lost the teammate. Pressure's on. Brokey also kind of pinned in Donut. Rain's dead. Everybody's actually fighting at a Liege, and
Oh,
Roman's
Liege,
not ready
Liege.
for it. In the anticipation of another
2v3.
mid walkout, you get a Liege kind of looking back over
2v3.
here, but it's not the case. Everybody that's left for
Oh,
Saw.
Kerrigan, I think he
which
gets
is
caught.
Oh,
Oh,
my
didn't
God,
get
to
caught.
advantage. But now Liege is going to have to come back and clear up all three while smoked off. That's just
Yeah,
not
that's
going to
a
happen.
safe.
So a bunch of damage done on the approach, but we are getting a good showing out of the gate from SHR.
The A splits are looking solid, man. And yeah, SHR is
Ooh,
getting
Liege
his,
might
that's
go
for
down
sure.
here. Nope. Okay.
Leech will at least maybe be able to survive with this AK, but it's an overall great A split out of Saw. They put so much pressure. They
Oh,
overstressed
Leech
mid. They didn't do it in one way. They had Muterus last time. This time they had two players coming in, and that was enough to
just-
overwhelm
yeah, just
Brokey
tuck in
and
that corner, bro.
force a Leech to peel back at a donut, watch his back, and you can see for a moment he was really confused. Where was the fight going to come from next? They were so scared about even maybe a third player coming in from mid.
Okay. All right.
So officially tying the amount of rounds that they were able to get versus FaZe on Ancient last time.
Interesting.
And the last A split that came in, you know, it was 3v5 because FaZe got 2 skills through smoke, which you are going to do that sometimes, but still you aren't seeing this, like this fight right here. If you're coming out of Donut, you're not seeing them FaZe trying to participate in that duel. Instead, they're playing back and they are trying to go for smoke spams on the cross and sort of crossing their toes that'll happen.
The best buy. Okay, Maturus.
Materius already out middle. We've got Brokey and Elise trying to attack this from Donut. Player is locked in, but
SHR.
they've gone ahead and dealt with the cubby guy. Elise
Elise.
out in the open. It's a fisticuffs. And he gets 2 kills before being dropped out of this one. There's pistols other than Brokey. So if not for
Oh, Kerrigan
Brokey's rifle,
all the
we've
way
got
around.
5-7s on the
Hold up,
field. But look at
hold up.
Kerrigan going off onto a adventure.
In my opinion, this is a better looking map for FaZe right now with the flank coming in, even though they only have these pistols.
Oh,
Because
Kerrigan,
you've got
hug
a
right
Saw who
side.
need to stay
Let's see,
vigilant
Kerrigan,
and watch
hug right
everything.
side.
And you can see there's too many positions to watch for. Agile,
Hug
let's
right
see if he turns
side.
around.
He just checked it. He
Yeah.
just checked it. Kerrigan comes around, cautious,
Okay.
but still expected.
That's a great display of timing
Crowd.
and awareness here from Agile.
Crowd like what?
Now,
Oh,
We've got
I think
Roman moving
Rain
towards
might
one
go
of the
down
pistols,
here.
who
Yeah.
will get spotted, taken out, and Brokey, who was last known in Donut.
But he
Oh,
can
hang
still
on.
stop bomb. That's the weird thing. They're actually walking up. If he kills the Opper,
Okay.
big if that op misses,
That's good. They
then
covered every position
good
that
chance,
they could
right?
be in.
But they slowed that down and they anticipate FaZe's moves, and in doing so, we now have a 1-round difference. FaZe lead 4-3.
When we were walking over here, I was like, what does it feel like, man, to play with a dead roster, you know, like, and to win, you know, and to beat teams that are probably crying at night after you beat them, you know, to like qualify to playoffs when you're potentially not practicing enough, or you don't even believe in your
Bro, I understand why
teammates,
these
and yet
casters are saying
the
like
IGLs they're
Soul's a
calling, you're
dead
winning some
team
of these
because obviously
games,
like, they've just had not the greatest
there
results,
probably
but
is some level of
still.
regret about what's happening,
It's-
whether or not it's in your control.
Bro, a
Sure.
dead team can
what
beat
if
a
it's,
team
you
that
know,
just
bad
doesn't show
blood
up
as
at
well?
all.
What if the guys who know that they're out next week
they're-
or
I hate this
actually,
guy, but he frags.
right?
Damn. Okay, they just literally
Yeah, that
walked
happens
up.
all the time.
But you've still got to get out of bed, roll
Really
into the
just walked
practice
up
room, and
there.
prepare for a game versus FaZe, who have looked fantastic, and for the first time ever, cleared a group stage 3-0.
And boo-hoo, you keep winning.
I mean, honestly, when Saw
SHL might go
qualified
down
for the
here.
playoffs, there was no like overjoy.
Or
If anything, it's like, oh man, we got to play again next week.
Yeah.
I wanted to go home. I wanted to call this quits. But
check
now I think
the-
suddenly sitting 4-4 on this T side of Ancient. Have a little
Okay.
fun with it. Soak up the moment. Soak up the frags while trying to minimize death. SHR, the only one to fall here. We are all tied up 8 rounds into this half.
Legit. I mean, good calls so far. And one of the rounds, again, it was a 3v5 that they put FaZe into that they ended up winning. So that could have been a very legit A split as well. This could be an even worse half for FaZe. And they have been running it down almost every round. They even have an eco win inside of this 4. So I think, you know, Saw have shown their full hand, really. We haven't had that full-on B rush.
Okay. Oh,
Speak of the devil. Here it is. Asking you shall receive. Oh, God. Nade goes flying into the sky. Kerrigan peeks out with it. He's got a one and done. Roman's got the trade frag. Rain keeps the pressure up. Nade sailed past him. And his support suddenly pushed back around the corner. But it's nice to see Rain have maintained this little pocket.
It'd be good if they planted, though.
Good damage.
These smokes are going to run out.
Nice.
Rain's able to find him. Roman
Oh,
barely
yeah.
alive, able to get that plant off. But there is another frag grenade soon enough coming in from Frozen. That could finish off Roman.
The T's can't replenish these
Oh,
smokes.
here it is.
They're going to put that off a little bit beyond it, sure enough. Off can't get the trade immediately, sees the players on the approach.
Nice,
Frozen
Frozen.
just lines
Alright.
this up.
I
One
don't think
versus
they've seen
four.
anything
No,
yet.
they haven't. And Agile's dead to the boost up from Brokey. So FaZe happy with that one. Sure, they lose the bomb site, but it's a delayed bomb plant. And with that delayed bomb plant, a very uncomfortable Saw.
I mean, they show us that the most underrated resource in Counter-Strike today is ammo, right? Even being able to shoot through CS2 smokes has its exceptional advantage of being able to, like, spam while someone else looks or shoot back at bullets that come through you. And the B site is very small. It's quite crowded. There's not that many places to stand. And you can see how long they delayed the bomb plant from going down just by spamming the entire time. This is a huge part of the game, and some of this might look like RNG to the, you know, the spectator who doesn't understand. But these timings and spams, they're all very well thought through, and they've been run through like a million times. So when you see these kills come down, don't be too surprised.
Starting off heavy beam.
It's the boost for Roman.
Okay, 4 towards B.
But there's nobody on that long line to duel him.
Oh, Rain.
Oh,
Oi, oi, oi.
Gutierrez catching a leash. That's like a classic Elish kill to get the guy in red room from bottom mid. But what goes around comes around, and what goes Saw's way is this B site. To be tied again looks likely,
Nice.
if not for Brokey, who catches the kill pushing up through middle. Kerrigan going to try to compromise the back of his site before bomb goes down, but it will this time
Frozen's
quite
coming back
quickly.
lines.
And we've got a long con to be played out by Frozen. Now, as it stands, Story's going to be preoccupied. He actually jumps over to the
But
ramp.
this just baits him into looking away from Frozen, who's coming up.
Kerrigan.
Nice. Wow.
As he
That's
approaches,
big.
clears the corner, gets the duel picked up.
Oh my
and
gosh,
a
Kerrigan.
wallbang. Come on, Finn.
Dude.
Give him a chance.
Oh.
Story's
Bro,
going to
what?
from
Wait,
the sky.
what? Why was
Rotation
so far
confirmed
back?
from that deep line and the
Nice.
flank just when they need it. FaZe to 6.
They jump on that bomb with just an extra couple seconds.
Yeah, wow. It does come down to the wire. If Kerrigan doesn't get that wall bang, how are they going to make this happen?
Jeez.
I mean,
What a
again,
map from
more moments like
Kerrigan
this.
already.
They're
My
not even
goodness.
seeing players. They just understand that there's one solo pillar in the middle of the site. There's only so many spots you can be in, especially if you have rotators coming in through CT, through long and short. That already eliminates open spots on the site. So don't be surprised when these kills come through.
Kerrigan sitting at 8 and 7.
Opening kill went the way of Saw last round. It's just a shot through window. I think probably Elige was asking for it, probably shooting back.
Knowing Elige.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing. You talk about all the shooting through smoke and how ammo is the last resource, but also just opening portholes through smokes. Excuse me.
Everyone on FaZe, 8 kills, Rain 7. That is an extremely tight kill distribution.
So is Ancient, Nuke, and Dust.
Stats here paint a tale of FaZe dominance on Ancient. One of those 10 wins they currently have in the last 3 months, of course, again, a 13-2 over Saw. Back when we were playing it out in Bucharest, but...
And I think their CT side on this map is right now the weaker one without Rops, but, well, you can see it's still not too much of a problem, it seems like.
Damn, they're just running the same play.
Still nice to see Saw keeping it competitive. Seizing the day is really all you can ask of him.
Running heavy pressure B, start off.
Oh, the A push is so smart here from FaZe. They take the risk, and we have Saw who have not done one thing too much, but they're starting to lean B more than they are A, and Muter's with another one.
With a Galil catching that cave aggression. The thing is, we've actually allocated a Liege in it as well, which is definitely a shake-up in the positioning. Also, a big gap in mid.
Pushing out
This is
through
wild. I mean,
smoke.
Frozen hasn't made it all the way through. FaZe are not getting too scared. And they smoke behind Frozen to bait a push in, but it's actually a player walking away. This might work out pretty damn well for Saw if it ends B. Because for the moment, Frozen's really hoping they come in his direction.
We get this slow move from Brokey as he approaches Red Room, but the thing is, it's obviously been FaZe playing totally unknown to middle the whole entire round.
And right now, it's just because they haven't even thrown a flash towards Frozen at this point in the round, it gets more and more unlikely that it's going to be the A site.
They're going to clear mid.
Latsira is still working up that mid wall.
I don't know if Elige saw that.
I don't think so. Taking over cave control.
Ooh, Frozen.
I mean,
All right,
honestly, dude,
now,
this push.
This is the timing that Saw opened up for themselves, though. They have to be aware of this.
Yeah, but did they pay the price? Because we see that third member joining cave just too late
Nice.
for Frozen to actually take his head off. Frag grenade goes into the cave. We've got the bomb pushing up from ramp. They'll be watching over here. Brokey has kind of beat his chest, so attention drawn in his direction. Support right here with him. Rain's going to try to fight this. Missed shots now out of the Opper. We get that pressure out from Red Room. 3v3 and bomb goes down. Frozen strikes.
Nice, Frozen on the back
and as
line.
he does so,
I don't think
suddenly Story feels that heat,
just
that
defuse.
pinch. The pressure falls to Mutiris. Very difficult for him to get through these two players and then stop the diffuser. So it really comes down to that flank out of Frozen, which even though he didn't get the kill towards Cave, at least he just gets to take his sweet time for the retake.
I think it's a frustrating moment for Saw because they're sort of wandering a little bit in the middle of the rounds. They pulled back from A. They didn't bite on any of the baits over at the A site, but they also didn't get Frozen to leave. And once you go into 50 seconds, 45 seconds, you know that if a team's coming into A, they got to walk in, they have to clear all of A main, and then they exec. Or, at the very best, they go through Donut, and then your A player is still fine by himself having A main to his name.
What's their buy, Mac 10?
I just think that Saw didn't realize the options that FaZe were participating in, even without mid
This
control.
might be fast K, fast mid.
Done a good job of keeping the economy
no
online.
shot.
Ah,
Oh my
but
goodness.
not ready for that rain
That's
push.
crazy, man.
So he'll peel back.
Early
Drop the
damage.
smoke in front of it, and that's unfortunately Roman walking wounded.
Roman down to 32. Frozen. He still does have eyes on mid. Kerrigan.
Kerrigan's been a real nuisance up inside cave, and Mutiris has been good at getting the mid frags.
Okay,
He will
good
kill
trade.
Kerrigan, sure enough. And Rain gets the
Nice,
follow-up.
Rain.
So all of a sudden, we've got Cave held on to. Rain just kind of swooped him off like a bunch of flies. 4 frags for Rain. Smushed on the walls of the cave entrance. Brokey clips the wings
That was
of the
disgusting.
last
What the
8 for CT side. It's an improvement from Saw,
Mr.
but we
Harvard,
know
my
that their
God.
defense last time left a lot to be desired.
It would take
Disgusting.
a superstar performance out of Elige on the second half, which you never know when it's going to strike. But that's pretty much the reason that Saw lost last time. This one man alone. But what we saw from Saw that half was 4 good rounds. I mean, there were some solid calls. They did a good job game plan-wise exploiting the problems of the A site. They beat the odds in a couple of situations, and they even survived getting ecoed. So not a lot of rounds numerically, but at least some quality ones to think about. Now let's see. Surely they knew Ancient was coming. That's why they probably swapped sides for the pick. So they probably improved this half of the map too, or at least had conversations about what went wrong versus FaZe last time.
Oh, okay, yeah, it was. All right. Damn,
Nice
bro.
multi-frag out of Rain. Enjoy this
Bro,
one
he
before
gets
he
that
takes
one?
to the
That's
T
awesome.
side.
And then this is.
See ya.
Damn.
Always nice to see Rain back in cave. You know, I know the
Yes.
positions have been changing around
We're
by
going
FaZe
Legion
Clan,
on
but
in
I don't
six,
know why they
Rainbow,
switched that.
Brokey, 11
I
six,
think just, like, put
everyone
it back
firing
there,
on all the cylinders.
you know?
That's what you need for FaZe.
It's a natural position for an IGL to go to play cave. I get that, but come on, Rain and cave? That's iconic.
it's a thing of beauty.
They start 3B.
Here we go. Saw to the defense. Now, like you mentioned, FaZe never really had to see what Saw had to offer on the T side because it was so lopsided in their last outing.
What was that, a fruit roll-up on his Glock? What was that, rainbow strip?
It was rainbow flags.
Oh, just, man, that's so cool. You can do so much cool stuff with these stickers.
Wow, man, cool, man, rainbow. Rain and cave again. This time on the attack, and it's 3 defenders in position with utility sailing down. Story in the corner hopes to go unnoticed. Little flash from
Carrigan
the obelisk.
somehow
That's
got
perfect. That is
flash,
an
yeah.
excellent piece of utility for Story to try his damnedest to capitalize.
Oh my god,
on
Roman got
Bro, we got
knifed.
a knife.
and how. On the edge of the smoke, whips out the karambit and makes a little cash. But we've got Brokey and Frozen in a 2 versus 3. Long player is going to get spotted
Nice,
first.
Frozen.
Oh, they're coming
onto
for you.
Arteris.
Yeah,
That's
nice.
both of the rotators dead. You know Roman's back on cave. How the hell does he fight his way out of this one? With a headshot. That's how.
Nice.
Good trade. Brokey's got that one in the bag. And FaZe Clan with 1 member
was good.
left take a second pistol on Ancient.
That's such a FaZe moment, man. That's such
Yeah,
a
they
FaZe
played
late
together.
round moment. So
Literally
that
just
goes to worst here for Saw.
both pick
That's,
same guy.
A
Both
great
just pushing.
round 1. Let's see if the
That's
knife
good.
money can get you anything nice. What can you buy with that, Roman?
It's crazy.
Good push from Frozen.
Yeah.
Definitely
Yeah.
takes the pressure off
Maui,
the post plan.
highlighted the late
Yeah, let's
rounds.
go Frozen. Hop up, baby.
Obviously, the GOAT trio was
Yeah.
Twist, Brokey,
Frozen,
and
Rain,
Rops.
Brokey, all on
But
12.
Frozen comes in just perfectly
Absolutely
to
killing it.
supplant what Rops pulled off with this team in those late round T-side situations.
Brokey's having a good game. Oh, I heard a bunch of noise. Rotating. And they're rotating too.
And it kind of looks like we know what Brokey we're going to get this tournament, and that's a good one.
It would be nice to see if
Still-
Brokey can find some more consistency with Liege on the team. The same way Frozen's been kind of taking a step forward in form.
What a nade.
You know, one of the talking points about FaZe Clan in the offseason with the inclusion of Liege was like, this is going to look like a completely different team. I remember, if I'm not mistaken, it was even Rops who said, like, I don't know what that team could look like without me and with Liege instead. And there was a lot of reinvention. We've seen many moving pieces.
Whoa.
And the last question will be, well, who can
Did he
thrive
mean to molly
in this
that?
new system?
No, I think he did. Okay. All right. They're pivoting back towards B, I think.
And we've seen glimpses
Yeah.
of everybody having recent
back to-
success,
oh,
but
they
this
might
man
push
right here
me.
has shown us some of the nastiest mechanical moments.
Here he comes, Johnny Neutron.
What's that? Is that Carrigan? Yeah, it's Carrigan.
Molotov into Donut. Pistol players
Nice,
start to reveal
Elise.
themselves.
30 seconds.
And Elise doesn't like the feel
Wow,
of that. So
look at
he's going
that.
to peel away. Just puts that looming threat
Yeah.
on Red Room.
Oh,
It'll draw
Roman
the
looks at
attention
the M4. Good
of
smoke.
SHR. Smoke in front of Roman, who does have that one
He
M4,
might
right?
push.
The reward for his knife in the
he's
round
gonna
prior.
push.
Pushing this is
He's
crazy.
going to kill Elise. He's going to stop the plant. Or it goes down, but it's still the planter.
That was worth.
What the hell? Slips an M4 into
3
the
versus
buy
2.
and then slips it up against the head of 2.
The only way they win this is that if they
If only
literally
the
push
pistols
smoke.
could have done something to couple
Yeah.
with that. There's a response late from
Agile,
Agile, but
7
he's going to fade
HP.
away, 7
Yeah.
health. Deagle to his
10-4.
name, wants to save the Kevlar, and that concedes double digits to FaZe Clan.
It's a bit
So
expensive.
still going to hit shots.
but
That's nice
we'll
to
take
see
it.
from Saw, but yeah, it's 10 rounds. This half is quickly getting away from Saw already. Unfortunately, losing the pistol does not help. Maybe if Saw win this game, you should shave your head too.
No thanks. I'm good.
I believe in them as well.
What a temptation this event could become for FaZe now that we've seen Eternal Fire and the Mongols both get eliminated. Rosters that, you know, the Counter-Strike world has started to cheer for and expect to not only make playoffs, but go beyond. Trying to get over that hurdle regularly now seems like they're problems, but FaZe, kind of the last favorite, so to say, that could still take this to a grand finals. And my God, imagine Elige hoisting a trophy in CS2.
Yeah, we had a lot of false prophets get exposed on stage already here in Cluj, excuse me. And
slowed it down.
I think that, yeah. What can you say? If it was supposed to be FaZe, Eternal Fire, Mongol, some combination of those teams to make it to finals, that's now wide open.
Oh.
Because I remember very clearly at the end of last season, Elige saying, next year I'm going to do whatever it takes to win.
Damn.
And we didn't know what that meant exactly. Whether it meant he was going to demand new teammates and complexity or nothing he was going to leave. Nothing illegal. Yeah. Well, you know, gray area is okay. Some rules are made to be broken.
Elige would never break the law.
No, of course not. You know, but obviously he's been playing this game for many years, has had the taste of victory, and then a long drought of defeat.
Oh.
Nope.
Unfortunately, I guess it could have been a knife.
Damn.
Follow through onto Roman. All's good here for Brokey. He'll double back through A main. That's a safe way to save.
Now 11-4.
And this is FaZe Clan going up 11-4 all too easy.
So not as bad as the last time they played.
Correct.
And still time to make it even better.
Yes.
That's the upside here for Saw.
Silver linings. Again, dead roster walking.
That lining is like 3 inches thick.
It's a dead roster walking that defeats 3 teams who could really use wins right about now. To reiterate, Complexity, FlyQuest, and 3D Max was the journey that this Saw team went down.
We've seen upsets all day. This would be, though, the biggest one, obviously. The ranking disparity is massive, but it was the same. It was also massive for Astralis, Mongols, and the VRS implications were huge for that one. There's so much more on the line for the favorite in all these games.
Oh,
all right.
Just gonna fast.
These favorites don't show a moment of slowing down. It is rapid into the B bomb site. Smoke wall up, so you can plant on that side of it if you're feeling safe. The threat is right here. That grenade softens up the planter, following it up with some spam on that smoke. Look at how little health they have on the fallback.
This execute is wild. They have not taken a fight that they can see. Wall smoke comes out. Now, you need some mollies. They've got them, actually. But there's one smoke from Uterus. This canceled out everything.
There goes the first molly onto it.
Oh, wait, his smoke missed.
Oh, that's not ideal.
Oh, that's the only smoke, guys.
We get Elige with a wallbang frag, and you're going to get
one more molly.
More util over the top, but Agile is on this. It's going to have to be coupled with spam. He gets off, and now that's the time gone. So from the other side of that curtain of smoke, FaZe Clan gentlemanly in that they plant the bomb with no frags.
That is a wild strat.
And then they just play with their food.
It's not, I feel like that smoke wouldn't be totally advisable just because of the amount of variance with like how you can get spammed crossing in. But we saw the best case scenario where everyone got hurt, but no one actually died. And FaZe peeled back with 2 mollies in hand to specifically set up this play. Also with cave control, you can set up the spam. Obviously, that works too. But that was clearly very confusing for Saw. I think they saw that and they thought, wait, they're not really trying this, are they?
To pull that out at 11-4.
You know, a good variation to that, too, would be to throw that smoke down, go for the plant, and then blow it open. And just have everyone fight.
Exposed?
Yeah,
sure.
As the CTs are spamming back.
Catch them with their pants down. Yo, make a little noise if you've been here for all 4 best of 3s today.
Oh. Some of you are lying for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, me included. You guys have been awesome.
Yes.
Big day of Counter-Strike semifinals tomorrow. And someone's lifting that trophy on Sunday. Hell of a crowd for a Friday morning.
Yeah.
We ride this one out, but obviously FaZe doing what I think everybody would anticipate and making quick work of Saw. So far, it's a good enough buy to try to continue play on Ancient. And I do think this series will always boil down to what's going to happen on Nuke. So nobody leave just yet.
Yeah.
Because Nuke is where...
Nuke went 24 rounds last time they played against
Same
FaZe.
teams a week ago. And FaZe gave you that classic entertainment that you've come for. And you come to know them for.
Saw got to playoffs off of Nuke.
Damn right. That smoke fades. You've got two CTs on the other end of it. Ooh, bad timing, Kerrigan. Better get that gun back out. Rain almost making the same mistake. Throws a flash to help himself. He dies in that push. And it's a good move from Saw to try to at least pounce on some portion of the map. What does it do? Opens the door. A site can be taken over, but we get this quick flood from Saw, not only into Donut, but with also that mid flank inbound. Good trade frag from Story, spamming that smoke off, but then they start to line up, and you've got a Legion Brokey ready
now he's
to
gonna
make this happen.
He's out of there.
The B site, he's gone.
Houdini, man. Brokey's running for it. SHR knows right away that he's trying something tricky. Brokey, I wonder how much time he thinks he has, but with the molly down, he knows he's guaranteed this next few seconds. SHR coming through it quick.
It's a huge health advantage for SHR. He's got a smoke, he's got the kit. So you could definitely see a world where he creates a bit of panic here for Brokey.
This is interesting because you can spam it, but you got to do it through the doorway. It's not as much of a lineup. Let's see if he can find it.
Oh, for the map! For the map! All too easy. Brokey ice cold in a
crowd probably helped him out
FaZe
there.
Clan make quick work of Saw on Ancient, but they already did this. Didn't stop Story and Co. from making this head-to-head competitive
map 1
on
in the
Nuke.
books, 13-4,
so don't go too
very
far, don't
convincing.
change that channel. We'll be back soon enough, and when we are, it is Nuke, the very map that got Saw to the playoffs.
She said she loves you, but she can't love me.
But I love you.
I won't play window anymore.
What's going on?
Play your role. 1xBet.
We saw them come, but we didn't expect to see them do this.
And they come up the ramp. Vexite charging in, Agile waiting. Just that first pyramid is going to work out here from the Tyrants and Roman stepping up together, and they're not going to allow FlyQuest through.
The Portuguese side entered Cluj-Napoca as a dead team walking, but with that pressure taken off their shoulders, they heroically went from 0-2 to make their first elite playoffs since 2024. Largely thanks to SHR, who is looking to deliver in his last event for the team.
Can it lock it down? Agile's been huge in overtime, and he's gonna deliver again. No way, 2 kills out, and it all falls on Maka. Saw with a dead roster, FlyQuest, Complexity, and 3D Max. And in the final event, as SHR holds this Saw jersey, they are gonna go to playoffs.
Yes, welcome back. Pretty brutal watch there as FaZe dismantles Saw on their map pick of Ancient. We're going to break it down on the desk now. It's going to be kind of tough to find the positives for Saw on that one. I guess the positive is this, Maui. We didn't really expect them to do well on Ancient at all.
Hey, they did better than last time.
Okay, well, yeah. Oh, wow.
I mean, picking T-side was a bold choice, and it did net actually a slightly better outcome than the last time around, than letting FaZe, who had a flawless T-side, run over you once again. And so, yeah, all in all, I mean, FaZe are taking care of business on this map. Elige, Frozen, Brokey, the trio that you wanted. Some highlights from some of the other individuals on the team, and saw, yeah, unfortunately, Dust, we just don't really expect them to hold a candle to FaZe, so we just got a FaZe highlight reel.
Yeah, I mean, they're exactly what we thought they were, right? I mean, it was not going to be an easy day at the office playing FaZe on Ancient, and we figured that it would be a quick game, and it was. And I think if you're a FaZe fan, you're just happy that they did take care of business. You know, you don't want these games to get squirrely. It's supposed to be an easy playoff game that kind of just gets you on to the next stage. And so to be able to handle it with these is exactly what you want to be seeing out of this team. And FaZe has been doing
I was worried briefly. I'll tell you when. It went 4-1, and then something seemed to upset someone on FaZe. It may have been Elige. And it went to 4-4 after that, and I was like, oh dear, what's happened? But then they did just run
Rich,
away
I know you like hate watching Elige. I know you do.
Hey, listen, by the way, I want to make it abundantly clear. There's no way I hate Elige.
Okay.
I've followed his career a long, long time, even back in the StarCraft days, my friend. So,
yeah, you watched all those games of the public game queues.
Big fan.
Yeah.
So look, he was a great Terran player.
Yeah. So no, obviously, I followed him a long, long time. I got nothing but love in my heart for him.
Sure,
I just think sometimes in the moment, you know, he's one of those perfectionist players. It is easy to forget that sometimes, and that can have a knock-on effect on some of his teammates. I think that's something to watch out for. But obviously, in a game like this, it's not going to rear its head. But I did have a little bit of trepidation. It was there. I'm not going to lie. I never tell lies.
Another little bright spot here about Saw is that the two players that they're removing actually top fragged for them. I mean, it wasn't like they were blowing anybody away with their performances, but I'm going to just say, I mean, I feel like, yeah, we can say Brokey. We could have picked anybody, honestly, from the FaZe side who would have been the standout player here. But on the Saw side, I'm mostly just curious in how Roman and SHR are going to play, because obviously the chances are going to be taken away from them. I'm not expecting that they're going to get opportunities moving forward because the season's already started. I don't know who's going to be just trying to like, change their team with those kinds of
NIP
rosters.
getting real Portuguese at the moment.
It's true. I don't think they're going to switch to a full Portuguese-speaking lineup,
Ninjas
however.
in Portugal. That's going to be the new acronym. All right, well, that's definitely quiet. Dust, anything to add about Brokey?
That wasn't bad. Anything to add about Brokey? I mean, he only had, like, what, 4 rounds? He didn't get a kill that entire game. So, yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah. 20 enemies flash. That's the life of somebody that's throwing flashes from spawn on mid. Yeah. I mean, Brokey did a great job in this one. Also, the ending clutch here for him, 3K is his biggest round, actually, to seal the deal for them. This is what you want to see from Brokey, okay? Brokey, obviously, like I said before, hot and cold player versus teams like this, mostly hot. Like, in fact, scalding, smoldering, okay? I feel like it's actually one of the hottest substances on the planet right there, up there with, what, like heated tungsten or something? I don't know, Richard. Save me from this metaphor.
I'll take it from you here, right? You know, speaking of scalding, that strat that they had, they just threw Molotovs over the wall. I thought we were watching different games there for a second. I'm like, wait a second, I've seen this somewhere before where you just keep throwing fire on.
You can say the game's name. And, we won't be mad.
No, let's not. Let's not do it at this event. But look, picking up on your point, here's a broader question then. If you're worried about where Roman and SHR are going to end up, do you think the VRS system kind of helps or hinders them potentially finding another team? Because I just feel now that there's so much importance placed on winning tournaments like this and accruing prize money. I think risk-taking on rosters, I think we'll see less of that moving forward. I don't know if you agree.
You need 3 people from Saw to make any kind of big move here, so it would be rather unlikely. You're not really going to gain anything. There's no wild card points to gain or invites to get. So all in all, no. However, I actually will say the hottest take about Saw possibly right now. SHR is their best player. Even though he's going to get kicked from the team, I think he's their best player now. After watching story demos, SHR demos, I know what Roman is. I know what Mutarus is. I know what Agile is. I've seen Agile demos in the past too. Like, SHR just makes the best decisions, 1-for-1, and he has the best aim of anybody on the team. So I would say that if, in all honesty, he's the free agent that people could probably look out for here. I don't know why he's getting removed from this roster, because everything at this tournament has shown me and confirmed that he is the best player, because he doesn't have the op and he's still putting up better numbers than Story.
Has he impressed you, Dust?
I mean, the problem is that he wasn't doing that when he first joined the team earlier this year. The first few tournaments that they played when the team was struggling, he wasn't putting up that same type of performance. It's only now at this tournament against Complexity 30 Max and, you know, I guess this game to a degree is where he's been putting those numbers. So that's the problem, is it just didn't happen soon enough and fast enough. And as Richard was saying, in a VRS system like this where you risk losing one of your spots to get invited to tournaments if you slide down too far in the rankings, you can't afford to take too many L's before you have to decide that, hey, maybe this is not the right team to bring us forward to keep us where we need to be. So that's kind of my issue with it. But you're right. Like, if he continues to, you know, kind of put on a nice eye test and kind of show that he's capable of some great things, and if he can build upon this down the road, then yeah, maybe he could be a prospect in the future. But unfortunately, it came a little too late this time on Saul.
Now, Maui, we are going to break down a little bit of that map before we start setting up new.
Sure.
You had a round you wanted to highlight.
I mean, we got one rollback one. I mean, okay, we got Rain here on one of the last rounds on CT side where hits Kerrigan, him working together. Kerrigan and him kind of been swapping a little bit on who's actually playing Cave rounds around. But this was just vintage Rain, okay? Yeah. That's why I wanted to show this one, is that Rain, not the loudest group stage performance, but look at this. That was just disgusting, okay? The way he nails the guy, tracking him in the air. Like, Rain's aim in any situation is just the coolest, the calmest. It's like, if I could have any player's aim, I'd want Rain on any given day in an arena, because it just looks so slick.
He's been such a great servant to FaZe as well, like down the years. You know, a lot of people, they seem to get their head turned when there's like big contracts flying around or whatever, you know, maybe make moves, you know, but he's just been sat there the whole time. Kerrigan said he's his favorite teammate.
Yep.
They've played together for so long. They have this almost like telepathic understanding.
He's a blue-collar fragger, Rich.
Yeah,
okay, he just puts in the hours every single time. You get a 1.06 rating and you're happy about it. Doesn't matter what stage it is, online, group stage, grand finals, he's always going to put up something nice.
Yep. It's also nice to see him doing it where he's had to make the most changes of anyone on this team to facilitate this elite transfer. So the fact that he's been able to maintain a great performance, keep the same attitude, and just be a warrior for this team is exactly all you could ask for as an IGL as Kerrigan.
The real Giga Chad. That's what I always say about him.
True.
We look to Nuke. Now, okay, I'll start by tossing this one out there.
Here comes a grenade.
Yeah, here it is. We had no hope for Ancient, but right, we know FaZe are really, really, really good. One of the best teams in the world on that map. Was always going to be a tall order for Saw. Saw's best map is Nuke, and I think FaZe are having problems on Nuke right now for reasons it will probably take a professional Counter-Strike analyst to explain, Maui.
Well, I will say that one reason that this matchup gets a little bit dicey for FaZe is that Saw became good around July, August of last year. In fact, in the Cologne playoffs, it is the map 3 where Saw was able to take down FaZe. So they're going back to it not only because it's a comfort in the short term, but the long term. That being said, that was when they added Barry to the coaching staff. That was probably one of the most slept on coaching moves of last year. It boosted Saw in the rankings, got them that playoff berth in Cologne, got them that playoff win over there. And I would say they're just holding on to the vestiges of it. Their mid-round decision making is incredibly decisive. They're very fast. They have a wealth of outside yard splits that they can use in order to just put Elige in a blender. And honestly, I think that this is going to be a bit of a challenge for them.
Yeah, I want to keep my eye on Frozen on this game. This is the map that is the only one that he's had to make changes. You know, he is now playing that ramp area, you know, on the CT side. He's going to get tested a little bit. There's been definitely some times where I've seen Saw be successful because they're able to take SHR and Agile, just kind of pair them up and just do these ramp room takes and just very quickly take lower. That's the one big thing about Saw, I think, that makes them so effective, is that they're so decisive. They don't really second guess themselves. Once they start to get a little bit of an opportunity and get some space, they just take it and go. They don't loll around. They don't wait until the clock gets low. They just, you know, go ahead and take the advantage that they got and try to make something happen. They play simple textbook Counter-Strike, and they're very comfortable on this map in doing it. And Rich, to your point, you're right. This is one of the maps of the pool that FaZe has had a little bit harder of a time kind of adjusting with the Legion and Rain because there is so much overlap between those two players. And they've tried to do the best they can by putting like a Liege by A door so he can kind of still play towards outside like he's used to, but that still is Rain's turf,
I mean,
right?
Elige even said it in an interview. He said, look, I have been struggling a little bit in this map. There's no hiding it. The numbers don't lie. The performances don't lie. What have you observed about how he's been adjusting?
I guess the thing with Elige is that I'm not always sure if he gets the comms as clear as he wants to in terms of should he rotate down the vent? Are they going to go for a lobby crunch to retake space that they lost outside? Like, the protocols on Nuke are what always are tested in these high-level matchups. And for me, with Elige, I just think that his protocols with complexity are probably different than the ones that he on FaZe. So when he's reacting to information on one side of the map, he's thinking that they're going to make this kind of play, and that'll make him 1-2 seconds a little bit slower than he would have been on complexity.
I'm not making any money off this,
on that team too, they weren't super sharp either. So I think that this is obviously a map he's going to grow on. I will say, Rich, I think they're going to do better than last time. I think they're going to win by a little bit more, maybe like a 13-8 here.
Let's be fair. Like, even though they struggled on this map, their losses are to like Eternal Fire and Overtimes and Vitality, like 2 of the best teams in the world, right? So they're still taking care of business whenever they play against quote-unquote lesser opposition, which is who they're facing in Saw. And they've already beaten this team on this map earlier this tournament. So I do think they still come in, obviously, as a heavy favorite to 2-0 this series. But again, if Saw is going to still keep the song singing, it would be on a map like this one. This would be their best bet to try to get something done. And maybe they can try to target Elise at 8 or try to target the yard, try to see if they can split those guys up and make something happen. But again, I think the other thing is maybe try testing Frozen at Rand. That's a new position for him. See if you can try to brattle him a little bit. But so far, so good as far as I'm concerned when it comes to that position. So yeah, it's a long shot, but we'll see.
If it was any other team with any other IGL, I might not float this, but is there a chance that maybe we do see Nuke go out of the pool and maybe Train come in, something like that? I mean,
for FaZe, you mean?
Yeah, I feel like with Karrigan, anything is possible. And like, I genuinely believe they have problems on this map. I think Saw are going to win this. So anyway, we are about to find out. You ain't got time to answer the question. The game is live. It's going to be Scrawny and Launders calling this one.
All right.
Classic strategy there, Richard. Make a boiling hot point and hand it away. Nuke up next between FaZe and Saw. I'll tell you this, our desk wanted to know whether Frozen can get tossed over by Ramp, but of the 6 successful first kills that Saw had on their T side, 4 of those 6 outside. There's been a lot of outer play to the favor of them from Story, from Mutiris, and I think that is what they're going to try to tap back into yet again. If there's any improvement on the defense from FaZe, I think it's all about outer.
Yeah, I like that. I like that view for sure.
Fast
Rain here to stop him, the doorman. A couple of kills between him and Elige.
Range on that thing, not quite, Brokey.
Yeah, having fun with it, though. He struck fear into their hearts. And, a bullet between the eyes here for Story. With the push continuing forward, of course, he never gets enough.
From a Zeus attempt into the USP 1 tap. Tries to keep that pressure up. SHR is going to find him in the process. Now, the bomb is awkwardly dropped where? Somewhere here outside of main?
Yeah, Agile's coming up to wrap through Mini. He heard the vent drop, but they still see the bomb.
For his
thing is, SHR was chasing Brokey, and all that does is queue up Frozen, who was biding his time, playing patiently.
But Frozen is really good at the lurking, but literally he just pushes.
So
He's got the lurking down pat.
HP clutch demanded of Agile.
It was a novel idea, though, to drop in. Drop in and then try to wrap back through Secret. I don't know if there's a chance that he can get away, but 40 seconds. Let's see if he can make it weird.
It's not a bad plan in terms of getting bomb possession. That's, the first thing on this checklist. Next up.
He needs to start working.
Get a laser headshot on the door guy. But it's actually Frozen who keeps it quick. FaZe Clan going to go ahead and collect yet another pistol for the series.
Yeah, it was funny because like the bomb is so close to you by the vent, but you open yourself up to so many more angles. Whereas like actually dropping down the vent really quickly and then running out to Secret is only like 5 or 6 seconds. So thing is, the round kind of ends when the first 2 kills take place and Brokey hits that shot. Brokey hits that shot. What are you supposed to do?
Watch this one.
Yeah. Super clean.
Yeah, they do be clean indeed.
Yeah. It is funny, though. Like, Elige clearly hates this map right now.
Yeah.
His best performance so far on Nukes, 27 kills and 38 deaths.
Not good enough.
Yeah, they ended up losing that game versus Eternal Fire. That was a banger. We obviously casted that one. But he's still figuring it out. Oh. Some of us have it figured out.
Oh, my God. Yeah. That new bomb is looking good. And the new MP9 looking the same.
What has Brokey been eating today? That's what I want to know.
Lee's going to make some cash here. SMG in hand. Player up above you. Desert Eagle's going to try to drop someone. It will. Nice. Brokey pays the price, but then you get a fast one from Karrigan up onto the rooftops. SHR walking around with a Zeus trying to get some revenge, I suppose.
Let's see if we can find a good angle. This will be tough. Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, they're all jumping around, so he's going to have the advantage of
He's probably so confused.
Surprise, but at this range, Glock versus MP9. I put my money on Karrigan, so he'll find those last 2 converted with ease. And just one more thing for Elige before we see the gun rounds come out.
As many things as you want, Connor.
Okay, I think that this is actually one of the maps where I've seen Elige make some of the worst decisions when it comes to trying to bite off more than he can chew, right? If there's been any kind of criticism for Elige so far in a FaZe jersey, I think it's been like just, 1 kill.
You're talking about that Eternal Fire game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a lot of overcommitments. And it was like one of their first games together.
Yeah, sure.
And
Growing pains.
yeah, he was, because like, I think when he walked through smoke, he's like, yeah, Frozen would walk through the smoke.
Right.
But then he was totally out of position. So But
Let's see
again,
how we go.
I like seeing him start out aggressive. So I'm expecting it to balance out in the end. But yeah, the FaZe chemistry on Nuke, that's been codified over many years.
Yes, sir.
And that's even, remember, people always forget, but Frozen has already played with Kerrigan. So he had an edge, right? He played with Kerrigan on Mouse Sports. He's learned the ways.
Elige doing what one of few North Americans do in joining a European team. To go on to win is now the next goal. Twists, Malbs, Elige.
Oh, they could just walk out. What? I think they're going to catch Kerrigan here.
Quiet.
Maybe not.
Story's able to get out from Squeaky.
Yeah.
The thing is, they've pushed already into the hut. So with that, Kerrigan's got a piece of map control with him. But as he backs up, oh my God, he catches them off.
He's still alive.
No way!
Come
How
on.
does he get two?
Double
What?
MP9 headshots.
No! What's
Roman's
happening?
getting weird on the ladder with Elige jumping around him.
What the?
There's another one on the smoke. What has happened here? It absolutely falls apart inside the A site.
Again, Kerrigan was destined
I
to
don't know
die.
how he
He
gets
was
two
going to
there.
die. He's going to die without a kill 100%. And then he got two.
He backs up into that bomb site, gives himself a jump scare, but also scares the hell out of that guy.
Bro, he's lucky he didn't
And they
get
got a
one.
second
The fact
kill.
that he gets two, that's
Unreal.
Wait till they
SHR
nerf the
took
MP9,
way
man,
too
I'm
long
telling
to
you.
get out, but
All right, so that's how that one plays out. Now we've got the one Galil half armor buy here with Tech9 to support.
Try to keep that pressure up. Squeaky, Rain blind as a bat. And then smoked out of the moment, but he's content to try to challenge. We've got the bomb now down vent. Interesting situation.
Yeah, no rotations just yet.
Saw have been able to gather this at the very least, a bit of presence down on B and a bomb plant with it. Not going to stop that from going down. It all boils down to the retake. We've got 3 kits out there on the field, so it shouldn't be a problem. You've got already multiple bodies inside of the ramp, so you'd think the trade train could work well as Frozen takes to the tip of the spear.
Muterus, P250 gets the kill.
Weird, man.
Oh,
Roman looks
Tommy.
away. Agile down beneath, gets
Frozen.
sprayed out. And that's going to be SHR now
Alright,
on
1
his
versus
own.
4,
It is
time.
a huge 1v4 demanded of him.
Time,
3
though.
kills left,
Yeah.
and he only ends up getting that first one on Frozen. But with Kevlar and Tech9s and a fast rush down B, you basically get what you'd hope for.
Yeah, one more kill, maybe he could delay for time, but no, not going to happen. So vent drop was a clear timing. Like, they heard him go down there. They knew it was happening, but they also knew there were still players upstairs to watch for.
what a retake.
So marginally scary situation here for FaZe, but I think in general, they kind of feel like downstairs is getting taken over, and they're like, yeah, it's just pistols.
That's an
We play
unlucky
this one
timing for
slowly.
Roman, to
It's
be
better
honest.
than just overcorrecting.
I reckon if he gets the better timing, then I reckon he probably gets that kill, but
Very
oh,
shrewd on the rotations.
running out
fast
fast
one,
again.
Roman.
Oh.
Gonna catch a player transitioning.
Damn, bro.
Kerrigan never saw that coming. And so he'll go down with hands busy. Fast response out of Elige and Rain dropping grenades inside A site. Bomb is in. Oh, what a find, it's
man.
on the hut. Bomb is on the hut, and it's kind of stuck there.
Oh,
Muterus
Muterus.
able to fight Frozen. That's a good trade back.
Alright, 3v3.
It's going to even us up. Stories also
wait.
dive down the vents, wrapping up around Secret.
so
I mean,
bombs.
Elige is going to be compromised, and he doesn't expect that at all. Way too easy for him. But every time Brokey is put into a clutch, we hold our breath a bit.
Okay.
Because you've stepped into him.
If the bomb is still upstairs, Brokey's trying to go a little one layer deep and assume that they're trying to avoid him. But him with the op up in heaven, I don't think that's the biggest threat as long as they get out of hut in general. So Brokey, again, trying to go one step, looks like a bit too deep. Now the molly would have ruined his position anyway, but he can turn this into a hut wrap. It's an unlikely clutch here for Brokey.
Alright, let's see.
But that's actually what he's really good at.
Dual Berettas in
Brokey
hand.
1v2.
Kit on his belt.
Kit.
Picks up a little bit more utility.
Impact grenades for these low HP players. What is Brokey going to conjure up?
Can't you guys feel it in the air?
They're sitting.
Brokey on the slow
He
approach, both
could-
players backside.
could
Brokey,
get one.
first one is right there for the taking.
Oh, but it's not a real dink. Look at the HP.
Realizes, yeah, Op's probably better for the job, and he's worried about getting flanked, but that's not the case, so he has misread
Empty.
this, saw 2 members in the bomb site. He will take that as a ticket to leave, and shout out Saw, because it's straight up aggression out of the gate, keeping pressure on that A site, and doing so finding Kerrigan unprepared. not always easy to find Kerrigan unprepared.
Yes, that's true. That's the most prepared man I've ever seen play this game, I think. So
All right, 3-1.
hard to find that.
So first round on the board for Saw.
I'm going to tell him. I'm going to tell him to find you.
Only one player survives, so everything reinvested here for Saw. It's nice. It's 1 round early. It's nice.
More of that.
Yeah, hopefully for Saw's sake. Kerrigan comes at the door from a different direction. Alige gonna lock this one down. I tried to highlight the success in opening kills from Saw on Outer.
Got the kill.
But Alige has
2.
other ideas today. Already 5 versus 3. And remember, 1 player survived, so a critical one. And is that another moment where maybe Alige could just chill?
Just looking for a way to die, I feel like.
Right?
But
You've got 2 frags to your name. You could have just relaxed. Instead, of course, an op is going to be on the prowl trying to find you.
He's insatiable, man. He's insatiable.
Agile having an advantage on Secret means this 3v5 has been evened out.
Yeah, all right. Now they can try to make it a little bit more strange. That's the bomb that gets spotted over on Secret steps, but because it is Secret, it's purgatory. You can go up, you can go down. CTs have to respect and try to make a read. Commitment upstairs as Frozen drops down onto the floor.
Well, that's not ideal.
It said all clear.
I think. Frozen doesn't like the sound of that.
They do a fake flash here. I mean, there's no one inside the lobby. They could still wrap, and that's the value of taking outside control in the beginning. So it looks like a good move here from Saw. I mean, even Vent will be a slow rotation. And once you drop onto the floor of upper, it takes forever to get back downstairs. So
Brokey's slowly coming down, though.
yeah, it'll come down to Brokey, in fact.
He was worried about Hell for a second.
They don't have smokes, though.
Looking to come down, and so you think that... No,
No.
they don't. They've got a flash.
Yeah,
Easy
gotta
pickup
die.
on Roman. And that bomb's been able to at least get into sight. The only plant really offered is on Astralis.
Brokey has a molly as well, but he's a little bit late to this.
Yeesh. Now Story misses the op shot on the vent play, who now is going to contend with that single door.
Oh, no
Brokey's
scope.
going to land a no-scope of all things. Story getting flushed into the vent, fragged, flashed, and played with. Frozen takes an extra second before going in for the peak, and Story knows his chance is slim, so a bomb plant means nothing. It is a walk away to save the op. Back-to-back rounds where only 1 member survives for Saw. FaZe answer instantly.
They're trying to make it worse than last time, which isn't cool. Because last
13-11.
time, they did the job. But yeah, they do have something to prove for themselves on Nuke in terms of their record and in terms of integrating Alige to make sure he feels comfortable and understands how FaZe move on the map. I mean, this is the litmus test of Tier 1 teams. That Nuke has always been the toughest map to beat the best teams in the world on. It's always a testament to teams like Saw that are coming up and having such an impressive record. Well, I mean, it's not an impressive record, but close win losses. I mean, trying to draw up a nice narrative for Saw, but I mean, for the expectations for this team, they're getting a lot of rounds.
Of course, yeah. The expectations of a dead roster should be no wins, let alone 3 playoffs, and any rounds that can be shown versus FaZe. That's, well, that's a bit rude.
Brokey playing crazy today.
Love to
crazy
see
on
it.
Ancient, crazier on Nuke.
Honestly, I would say a very welcome sight as we move on through playoffs. Alige doesn't waste a moment locking into top secret. Interesting one, though. Nutiris, he's going to have a path behind these smokes. And Alige not looking to go too deep on the swing out to clear, so now that's 4 players from Saw making this walkout happen. They're using that smoke as a path to get into Garage. Or is it all about coming to Alige? Because he's actually able to clip the wings of the offer. Good trade frag, but through smoke, there's Mutiris, right? Using that wall to catch them off guard. Kerrigan turns back, Wild Door remains smoked, and so there can't be a join-up between the 2 remaining members here of Saw.
No molly opposite vent. Roman walks through the smoke completely. Kerrigan timing on the swing gets his. Another for Kerrigan.
And SHR has to double back because, well, that bomb stuck out on the dirt. Frozen was able to drop that bomb by catching the player who went for the cross, and then Rain's on cleanup duty with 3 members standing tall for FaZe. That's a 6-1 lead.
They were just trying to use the diagonal smokes to press up against them. We see sometimes people make this mistake of going too far away from the smokes, and if someone's standing on top of the railing on Heaven, they could just see ahead, or if someone tries to jump. But
just a glimmer.
They didn't move. They didn't move fast enough, and they didn't molly Secret beforehand. So Elige just had such a valid position, and wow, clean one here for Rain, as he's just death matching.
Getting a few of those out of the FaZe clan.
Also known as Land Clan. Yeah, that's the thing about FaZe. Don't let FaZe into playoffs.
And, you know, usually we can say don't let them into playoffs because they find themselves in the middle of a group stage, getting scrappy, not playing to their full potential. This is different.
Yeah.
They've started this event with a nice clean 3-0. Kerrigan said it on stage.
They were a little confused.
It was kind of weird. It was an odd experience, right? But also enjoyed the few days off in between, not having to compete. You know, that's one of those things with FaZe. You actually get a chance to, God forbid,
on this
practice.
When they came into Copenhagen, they barely made it to playoffs and then lost in the quarterfinals. And they cited getting exhausted after playing a whole event, especially the maximum amount of rounds in a stage, because it took too long to get to playoffs. They're a team of old men. They need to do these things fast.
Gotta make do with the early bird special. Making mincemeat of Saw. But still, I mean, this constant threat from Saw to get into Secret's been going well.
Yeah.
Again, we're kind of grasping for silver linings, but that's definitely one of them. We'll see if this off angle from Elige, something different from him and his positioning, will at least get some damage. There's the second player to swing, and Elige is going to deal with both, basically.
Yeah.
Peels away into the site. Mutiris able to try to chase him, gives over some real estate.
He could have fought this if he wanted to. That guy's low. Kerrigan takes again. Another pseudo dink through the wall. He's still high on HP, but Story.
Love it.
Oh, chance to multi.
Story's been happy to just walk out with the element of surprise.
All three.
No. That's a snap down from Heaven into the backside.
Wow.
Okay.
He's got the pen.
Let's cue that to the highlight reel, shall we?
Nah, that's ridiculous.
Replay, please.
That's pretty much the perfect way to defend against him, too. Well, that's how you can win a round.
Everybody sit up straight, because we're going to have to watch that one back. That second vent, Heaven, and then a snap down into sight. One man, 3 entries. And by doing it again with just this quiet walkout through the squeaky smoke, we saw Kerrigan get the better of him 1 round to go. This time, Story just tiptoes his way out, and it comes with Saw's second round win.
Yeah, they are getting a touch sloppy with that timing.
So let's watch this together, shall we?
Tavid first. Oh.
Oh. Clean.
Yeah, that's the fly swatter.
Let's get a golf clap going. Thank you, thank you.
Yes.
Now full speed.
Yeah. See ya.
Sorry, Kerrigan. No extra seconds. You know, Story was the glimmer of hope for Saw.
Yeah. He's nice, man.
He was playing as the highest rated player throughout the struggles of the team. And one of the critical reasons that they have managed to get onto this stage to begin with. So never too late for him to tap into that potential. And again, they're just going to try to burst out onto the A site. It's been what's working. Oh, but the dink comes out from Rain twice. 2 players tagged up as they try to just find positioning. Instant push out from Heaven, out of Kerrigan. Maybe rushing the fact you've got 3 players, 1 bullet from death.
Everybody's
and still
1 HP.
It's a post point.
And they're
out.
They're out? Wow, just because of that, they lost 1 player. And because Rain didn't finish off either of his targets, they don't even know about the damage, really. This is the only commitment. Well, nice one, Saw. 5 alive round win.
Dare I say it, the game begins.
Yeah, yeah. They can easily make a real T-half out of this now. They'll all get to run the max distance as well and get out of dodge. Not bad.
Very respectful. Good. This is the sign of what we all signed up for, which is going to be that classic 24-round FaZe heartbreaks.
You think this one goes 24?
Well, the problem with FaZe winning as quick as they have so far at this event, with them coming 3-0 through the groups, is that we're not getting that classic FaZe. The entertainment factor has been a little more one-sided as of late.
That's true. The rough and tumble FaZe.
You know, that's why we love them.
Yeah, it's like the team that's the favorite and the underdog at the exact same time.
They can't get too good. So here we go. Chance for Saw to make this T-side competitive. It was a 6-6 half last time. And this is Brokey's chance to go above and beyond. We see that op already moving up into lobby. Misses the chance at striking down a second. That brings Roman back out from Squeaky.
Oh, why is he watching this?
I don't know.
Oh my God.
He predicts it.
My goodness,
Roman
it actually
walks
works.
back in, covered over by the op. Now, Story's been great on the entries. What about a 1v3? We've got Brokey on the line. Brokey misses a chance, but Frozen's right there. It's that clean double push out of the ramp room that nets total lobby control for FaZe and a 4-round lead with it.
Another one, clean and easy. Thank you, I love you too. Love you so much. Connor didn't say it back.
I commitment issues.
Cluj is a great city. We didn't know what to expect coming here. We've been to Bucharest a couple of times, but it is a quaint town. People seem happy here.
It's because Counter-Strike's back.
Because Counter-Strike's back. Yeah, it's been like 10 years.
Only 5 people at this event were at the original Cluj Major, and one of them is Pimp. Who could have seen that coming?
That's how you know it was bad.
Frozen down on site, quick evacuation of the ramp room, doesn't want anything to do with those fast-moving Saw members, because I'll say that, they've been fast. And Story now swinging with the op, has managed to find an aggressive hot play out of Brokey, who feels to me like he just wants to get this series over with. Like a semifinals lock-in needs to be done ASAP, but his 10-3 will be sat to the sideline in round 11. And I like this redirection from Saw. Just as easily could have gone down into the B site where we do have 2 of the FaZe players waiting. Elish is coming back at Hell, worried about Outer, but right now, I think he's gonna find a nice bit of timing.
Oh, Elish, yeah. Well, SHR, oh.
Lower player dies, Elish finds a back turn. Rain has killed one of the guys who got up into heaven, but there's a second. Agile, able to turn that down ladder. It draws Mutiris out from the squeaky door, and poor Frozen, who made that contact early on ramp, is gonna have to come out with a 1v3 if he wants this round win. Well, and, I wouldn't say this one's possible.
There was a little bit of confusion on this round for sure. It went a little bit both ways, but honestly, Saw found the gap for the most part. They had FaZe rotate down, they took over Hell control, and Elish got 1 kill, but they already had 2 up in heaven. That was pretty perfect, if you ask me. So Frozen, I think I'll be happy to just keep this gun. But yeah, it is another round. We got 5 alive on the last one for Saw, 3 now. A potential chance to get 5 rounds on T side. That's enough. That's enough to make Richard's prediction come true.
Scale of 1 to 10, how crazy is that prediction? Saw win this.
I mean, it's not as crazy as giving FaZe a 0% chance to win the event.
That's true. He did also say that.
I'd say it's a good 7.5.
Getting
crazy.
senile in his old age. 7-4 and 1 to go. And
you think he'd be riding with the old guys, you know?
Yeah, that's you'd think.
Rain and Kerrigan.
MP9s.
Richard, the 3 Rs.
Mm-hmm. Wait, what? Rain, Kerrigan, and Richard, 3 Rs? What are you talking about?
I'm getting old too. That was the joke.
8th to be had.
Shabra.
It's looking like a great chance for Saw 5-round half. Just a couple measly deagles. A duo of MP9s. And a few nice change-ups from Saw throughout this T-side that got them on the board. So this time, Mutiris again outer, man, trying to find those openings, but he jumps down into the circling sharks of Rain outside main. Story, oh, nice double.
This guy
Anticipates
rifles.
that peek out of Rain. Mutiris' pathing has been found out. He's got to be careful because there is a defender out there, and he's a little preoccupied with the guy in spawn. Sure enough, Elige, as those smokes fade, finds his contact. It's a 3v3 retake, final round of the half, so Frozen's got to try to get out from Vent. Not ideal, and it's an easy clamp down. But Roman takes a bit of damage in that engagement. Flash offered up for the main push. Agile comes out from the second Vent, and it's Brokey to die last. 5 rounds on a T-side's not half bad, when 4 of the 5 in the last 5 rounds. Saw are making a go of this.
Yeah, man. I mean, they made FaZe look like they almost weren't trying, but it's really because they didn't know how to hold the upper site. They just went from a tough upper exec with slow rounds to a faster tempo doing the exact same thing. These are some great kills that came out of Story as well on the rifle. That was awesome to watch. And now I think I'll have to wonder. We're switching over to CT side. Can we make Richard's dreams come true?
Nice to see Elige at the top of the board for FaZe Clan, I think, despite the return of rounds that Saw are able to post.
Yeah, and he takes a lot of risks, and so far this is his best score line, I think, to start a half on Nuke. 101 ADR for Elige.
12-7.
We switch over to T side, and I think that some of those risks are actually they're more welcome. I think it's going to be good to see him take more liberties and swing. And I think throughout the map pool of FaZe Clan, Elige is improving T sides faster than he's improving the CT sides, because there's only so much that you can do to replace that anchor role that's been missing for FaZe. So let's see it. Elige starting off very well here on the defense, looking to put his best new performance up so far.
See that graphic right before it starts, the 4 multi-kill rounds of Story.
Damn,
in his 11 frags so far this map. Again, dead roster walking, but he has been their brightest star. In a time of turmoil, can one man be enough?
Kerrigan's waiting for the ball.
He's at bat first with players looking to press into him. Mutiris, it's a bit of a warning to the T's who know now they're surrounded, trying to fight out of this. Looking good. 3 versus 5 for FaZe to have to deal with. They respond quickly, and now just like that, double man advantage has been taken out of Saw's hands.
Yeah, that's good damage control here from Elige as they take back to get into heaven, and the CTs are a little bit worried about this, so they fall out. I don't think this will help their case, but actually playing from
completely vacant
lobby
right now.
control's not too bad of a position.
Dude, Agile just hiding behind this box. His teammates, again, moving around in lobby to head over to ramp. I mean, he's going to be alone on A for quite some time if FaZe commit.
That was actually a good spot, man, because, Heaven's going to come out, clear all the positions on the site, including the opposite vent, and that would give him a timing peak. But Agile's sort of dropping his guard a little bit.
Saw it first.
Yeah, he did.
But I mean, what? Oh, perfect! Now it opens up his 2 teammates to climb up the ladder. That is such a critical headshot from Agile.
They could go down the vent, but
if
they don't
feel
really,
like it. But now bomb's been thrown to the dirt. Frozen, he'll bring one down. That is such a good find from Agile.
Damn.
And a second pistol, the
I don't know what
first
they're waiting
pistol
for,
round,
man.
however,
For like a
of this
push and a peak,
series
but they just
that Saw are actually able to
I
win.
reckon if they just went
yeah,
4-3 balls
They make it
to the
look
wall.
nice as well.
Great
Great shots outside to start this off, and it was FaZe playing from the back foot
cool
every
with that.
single frag down to the last.
Will.
This lead has damn near
That will.
evaporated.
Good on them to close out that 5 versus 3, because once Elige gets a double, things look a little sketchy. Scout on Kerrigan. Okay. Let's see what he's got up his sleeve. Glocks all around him. And the only person he's really going to find is going to be Story at long range. First tag's good. Ooh, tapped out twice.
Okay. I mean, that is more than a small find here this early into the round. While they're wrapping outside as well, the CTs are starting to get nervous.
Interesting turn of events here.
Look at the positions having to change. They've got to morph their setup now. Watch their backs.
They're careful about Heaven on the approach.
Boosting from this side.
Yeah, very interesting. What if they boost in the middle of the door and he can go for the peek? What about this? Agile must have seen something. Oh, God.
He jumps because he's so scared.
Able to reposition. Roman kills Rain. That's a good save offered up from SHR. Comes out from down beneath them. Looking to deal with a little bit more. That's Kerrigan trying to chase him around these windows. And it's all good, seemingly. SHR going to get glocked out of the round by Frozen. Kerrigan now incredibly low. Sketchy round, all things considered.
Yeah, how much
Brought
crazier?
to you by Kerrigan.
How much crazier can you make it, really?
By getting down to B.
I don't know.
Matures on 30. It's probably the best
SMG
bet.
lying waiting for them. They do have a
20
smoke at the very least, but 15 seconds, they've just got to dive the plant. Muterus, peek whenever you want.
It's only got 30 health. It's only 30 health. Bomb Planter's got the smoke covered. Little extra money, that's been found. Nothing thereafter. Saw gonna make the most and convert. We are tied up at 7.
He even fakes his death at the end, jumps in the water, like Matt Damon.
Told you guys this was gonna happen. It's a FaZe game after all.
What if there really was a 0% chance that FaZe could win this tournament?
With Ancient in their back pocket as they had it.
Uh-huh.
Let's see them with the guns.
Sure thing. Let's see about these guns. Are FaZe gonna win this game? Are Saw gonna win this game?
Are you guys tired?
People cheering for the chaos. Let's go.
And yet y'all still here. No one more committed than a Counter-Strike fan. So let's see if FaZe make the most of it this evening. Diagonal smokes. Rain finds a path behind it. They're gonna pop it open. Ooh, but it didn't open up any kind of an angle for Rain to be caught. Second one, it's gonna expose him a little more, but really, who gets exposed? Rain goes hunting. Then he's clipped on the crossover. Things got delayed a little bit. A ton of damage versus Elige as well. But he makes the most of that moment, kills Mutirus. And we've got Agile walking up along the sight wall. He's a sitting duck. Elige has got one back sight. Spray gets away because it's a double down from Story. And SHR hangs on to that ramp.
Oh, and he's staying here.
First gun from FaZe dealt with.
Ooh, he played that like a violin. Beautifully done off the box. Not dropping down to lower as well after getting that kill. Just confidently taking the swing. 2 each as they defend. That's another moment for Elige where, I mean, it would have been hard to try to disengage from that spot, but if he did.
Things got slowed down outer. The players crossing over, caught out once those smokes disappeared, and then obviously this double kill's the turning point.
That's such nice rifle work, man.
Tech9's out for FaZe. They are losing control of this second map. Dead roster walking.
Who, FaZe?
Walking it over towards the ramp with the Tech9s in hand. Who's our bomb carrier? That's Brokey. A part of this pack, but they get smoked off, so a bit of a waiting game here in round 16. Unless they just want to redirect, and it's curious because Rain's found a bit of a path down secret. SHR now out of utility.
Scary position to be in, playing the ramp.
Why does this have the makings of something weird? Why is Kerrigan out on the A floor? Frozen's gonna cross up in front of the Opera. Story looking to alleviate the pressure in ramp, but Brokey still finds that kill. That's the bomb, of course, right now, kind of caught out. Kerrigan able to get past the guy inside of the vent, and we already had Rain down secret. This is a possibility on B with Tech9s. That classic FaZe shenanigan.
Wait a second, is there anybody here? No one's dropping down just yet as well because Kerrigan was in the vent. Agile gets out.
Rain not able to stop it inside of the vent. It's a retake that's on.
He gets to play for time now.
Again, Story doing a good job of at least getting those first 2 inside of the ramp room.
Double up control side, doors open.
All it takes is a Tech9 and a FaZe chant.
Where's that bomb plant?
And suddenly we could be tied. Bomb planted right here beneath Story. Flash off the railing. Agile goes for the clear. Brokey hits him with the tech. And it's classic FaZe. We tie this game at 8.
Let's go.
Tech9's into the ramp room.
That is gutting for Saw, man, the way that they lose this round. There's so many moments, actually, that they bring this back. But then we have Kerrigan, who slips the net, gets that vent kill, and this one. Oh, the way that rain scaled was so confusing for Muteris. He thought that he was wrapping all the way around. Why did he come and touch the box but not actually swing?
Dude, that's a 3v5 as well after Story's 2 up-frags. 3v5 with Tech9s.
Okay.
And the economy here for Saw is busted up.
Okay.
Well, things are getting a little jumpy.
All right.
You know? Uh-oh. Elige exposed, but for the most part, it's just SMGs and pistols around him. Feels to me like we're getting this pattern. Rain finding more and more comfort with getting down secret. It was a key component of that last round, and they've gone ahead and established it again. That one M4 out on the field in the hands of SHR. Can he solo hold lower? Closest rotation would be Story over from ramp. Utility comes at him. SHR is going to give over just a little more real estate at a minute.
Yeah, they earned the way to push him back. There's not really any way for him to respond to this safely. Story's got this deagle, but they need to find a way to regress somehow.
They just keep pushing him one corner after another. SHR from the stairs. Oh, he at least gets
Trade.
the one, but it's Elige and a simultaneous frozen entry onto ramp. That closest rotate and Story's already down. So Elige can go back to vent. He hears this movement. He gets caught though by the SMG. That's a big upgrade.
Yeah.
AKs to be had. Sure, they'll take over control room, but right now FaZe soon to be attacked from both sides. They'll take some pressure off, but coverage to the bomb just enough. Frozen able to make sure that goes down, and now Muteris comes swinging out. 5-7 for the first one,
Muteris
AK
did a
in hand.
1v4
You
clutch
know
against
this
them,
guy's
though.
stuck back
Legit,
there.
Wish you had an
top
HE.
silo.
And it's all about figuring out where Kerrigan's going to help from. He's thinking window, but he's off the mark. Now dropping down, audio offered. FaZe just going to play with their food, waiting for the timing to split, to pinch both at the same time. Muteris backside gets the first. And now it's all about just trying to run. It's a safe call. It's FaZe.
Okay. Man, it's another moment. Elige puts himself in a good spot, taking over control side, but then it actually gets scary, right? Because he goes out to try to get the vent player. Not in an unfair way, and if he had just stayed control, Kerrigan wouldn't have had to retake control of it. But in the end, it all works out, of course, for FaZe clan. Lots of deaths here for FaZe, so they keep the money honest, but it's also around with this one AK for Saw, and potentially a lot of bank to be built up for the T's.
This one's got a little tempo on it, huh?
Oh boy, these
Muteris blinded. The two site players.
They've cranked it up now. They're churning the dial.
That's crazy. What a rush.
Fastest round so far.
That's a taste of the full FaZe. All 5 kills, easy for FaZe clan, taking over that A site, taking over control of upper and map 2.
Elige, 19 and 12.
We still got buys in the cards for Saw, so. You know, Maui Snake was halfway through writing the eulogy for Roman, as alluded to. 32 years old.
Yeah.
Knows he's getting cut from this roster, maybe his last stage game, but that wealth of experience when push comes to shove. What's it worth right here, right now?
Hey, there's always a spot for him on FaZe.
That's true. There it is. Oh, but who
in the world?
in their right mind is trying to sign up for Fights versus Rain?
Challenging Rain outside, man. That is...
You want this guy to see you?
No.
And then he gets into the perfect corner, and Roman
No.
sees him though. So
Okay.
trying to hide. He forgot that he's, 6'5".
Yeah.
So lower taken back by Saw, but we already saw what FaZe can do on this A site when they run in with some aggression. Agile right now working on his own. He's got a ramp rotate and still that player downstairs. That's a good clean first kill. Alish dead, but his rotate up the vent gets cut off. Agile, 2 kills is great. And we go down into the clutch. Frozen comes back at this, and he's been able to scoop up that bomb. Planting front sight, are you mad?
Wow, the balls on this guy.
And then he's able to reposition.
This is going to be weird. SHR thinking that Frozen's going to push this. He's only got 8 bullets left in the magazine. He's going to see that the bomb has been left, but does this mean backside? Probably not.
No, right? That'd tell you Hutton. Honestly, he's not wrong. Problem is, SHR doesn't have a kit at the moment, so the full 10-second defuse would be wild. He's going to tap it. We'll see what Frozen does. Trying to clear corners.
Oh!
He's got it?
That's... I think he actually does.
Frozen repositioning into Hut, fully red in this round. Yeah. And all's good.
Okay. All right. I mean, Frozen could have walked around to Squeaky and then played it slowly that way, and there would be no way for SHR to counterplay unless he went out wide, or didn't play so far back. Not sure if he...
These kills, though.
Yeah. Well, what are those worth? 3v5.
Shout out Agile being able to hold this back.
Agile only should have been able to get 1. That was very slow.
getting active on ramp, winning a 1v1 right now while he's not having one of the better maps of his event. But slowly recovering the scoreline. And chipping away at the money of FaZe, chipping away at the lead. 10-9, 1 round the difference. What are you guys cheering for?
Okay, crowd, shut the fuck up.
I don't get it. Alish from top silo. Quick tap to SHR. Story ready to go for a peek, but do you really want to? Remember what Rain can do, and now you know Alish is up top as well, hunting heads, outer. This has been a good avenue of attack for FaZe, so no surprise they're going to try it again. Alish catching the legs of the garage fallback. Lucky to be alive. Mutiris making moves, and he's able to drop bomb. A turnaround from Mutiris.
Nice.
He will be caught still through that smoke. They know this guy is incredibly low in the back of garage, so that's another easy cleanup. The fact he gets a headshot on Brokey is something to work with, but it still needs to be 2v3 for Saw.
I think it is pretty great in this spot, in this 2v3, but Agile has already rotated down lower, which means they're split. 1-1 on the defense. No bad site to go to as long as they go together.
Okay, they molly. Okay.
FaZe Clan, what are you thinking? 25 seconds. Looks like it's going to be an upper hit.
Yeah, 2 through main, 1 late out from lobby. Roman tucked in. Oh, he drops bomb.
Yeah, Brokey said bait me.
Insta trade. And so that bomb goes down, sure enough. Same plant position.
No one's running just yet. Agile, bit far from the action.
Yeah, that's an understatement. Down in the crypts.
Frozen and Rain need to play this pretty well.
Find a way up through vent. Now, luckily for him, it's not being watched. We've got a defuse kit out there on the field. Not that it's in his possession.
Good.
The thing is, we've got already the squeaky lock-in, so Rain, in anticipation of that door cross, that's an 11th one. Offered up by Alish first, finding contact outer.
Yeah.
Damaging the garage guy so that there was a very easy rock back from Secret into that upper site.
And last round was so expensive. And
yes.
This is match point on the line, folks. Series point right here.
Ooh. Clean as need be. Rain has been a monster outside throughout this T side.
As per an iconic position for Rain.
40 go USPs, bro. So we better not lose this round.
Up close, Rain again.
They're playing for the overtime.
He just asks you to open these smokes, but they don't have the utility to do it. In reality, Saw have nothing to work with here in round 21.
I appreciate this because, you know, if they were really a dead team, they'd force right now. They're just pretending to be dead. They're faking their own death.
Ah.
Saw more like Tupac. I want to see a hologram of Saw at Coachella.
Well, I'm sorry, Roman, but not looking too easy.
Clean.
CT's try to get frisky in 2 different points of the map, but as you'd expect with the buys out of this one, it's coming up FaZe. Maybe you catch him off guard with this boosted position. Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. And Brokey just watched his teammate die. Doesn't want to step out into that. He'll let them come to him. You got nowhere to run if you're Story, so he gets pinned into the corner.
12-9 was
And poor Mutiris, with that Zeus in hand, could do something funny. Just give a Liege a little zap.
Oh, Liege.
Tilt a Liege. Go ahead. Yes. Come on. Do it.
Come on.
Do it.
Oh, you got him! Oh. Do the noise. Do the noise.
But that's a Liege whenever he dies.
He's going to reload it, and then, no.
No chance.
Dead. Assassinated. That's 12. So we're waiting for this.
3 map and match points to get into the semifinals. The last standing favorite in Cluj. A team who brings in a new player, one who wants wins more than anything else. It's a reinvented FaZe. A lot of moving parts.
Welcome to Nuke.
And a gun round here for Saw to try to push it. Again, we needed all 24 rounds a week ago. Saw have fought valiantly throughout this event, beating 3 teams they had no business defeating. And now FaZe Clan using them as a springboard. A little classic FaZe sprinkled in from Kerrigan as Alish peeled one player off that A site. He gets stopped. 3v5 recovery starting to happen. Saw looking at their deathbed here in Cluj, but they're not ready to be tucked in. Rain continues to tap players out of this server. And SHR from the heavens to stop 2, but both look in anticipation. They will stop them. And this is what the crowd wanted. FaZe Clan stepping forward. It's a road and a journey they can see to a trophy. A road they have walked many times before, but one that has eluded them as of late. It's a perfect quarterfinal to put the pieces in position.
Give it up for Saw, folks. Maybe the last time we see this roster, they made it to playoffs. Everyone wrote them off every step of the way. Started 0-2, made it through the group. One last swing. Last dance for this lineup. And they impressed all the way to the very end. Competitive here on Nuke versus FaZe. Not an easy draw, but obviously a position you find yourself in as a low seed. Everyone got a smile on their face. They came to have fun, and I think they did that.
Difficult head-to-head when, again, you know that you've already matched up in this event, and you know FaZe will be just boiling over with confidence as they step onto the stage as per usual, let alone in a rematch. They win so lopsided. I think it's a really good sign that Rain's playing the way he is, that Alish has had his moments and avoided deaths, barring the Zeus on ladder. Ultimately, this is, again, the first step for a FaZe Clan. Everyone in every room, in every country of Counter-Strike wants to see win. We hand this down to Alish and Banks on the stage.
There's big cheers going up for FaZe Clan, and they had a big performance once again. But for you, Alish, first arena in quite a while. First arena in the FaZe jersey. Nice to be back.
Yeah, it feels nice. Like I was saying to you, it's been a long time since I've been in arena. It feels like so long. So it really is nice. It's a really nice vibe, and the Counter-Strike is a lot more fun.
Oh yes, it's a lot more fun in the arena with the crowd and all the action going down. You face Saw once again for this one, right? First map starts off dominant like before. Still, we're seeing this little bit of a back and forth in order for you to get the win on Nuke. Still trying to get comfortable with it all?
Yeah, we're still trying some things on Nuke. As you can see, we're trying to, find different solutions since we've been struggling on it on the last couple of matches. I think that we played a lot better in this one. Definitely an improvement, so yeah, looks good.
Is there something, though, that you can worry about when you face other teams if they try to pick it against you at this point?
Nah, not really. I mean, they could try, like, they're all going to try. We're going to try our stuff. If they think it's weak, they can try it for sure.
I like it. Call them out. Let's see if they can challenge you with it. Overall, this journey you're going on in the FaZe jersey, all this learning, all this changes you're having to go through, how good does it feel right now to be in this position and be going into the semifinals?
It definitely feels nice being the favorites as well. I think a lot of people are expecting us to have a good performance. For us, we're obviously just taking it game by game, but I think that we're feeling really, really strong going into the semifinals. Going to be playing against Falcons, and they were looking very good too, so it's going to be a good game.
And you just said it yourself. A lot of people are expecting you guys as the favorites for the whole tournament right now. Is that what you're saying to yourselves? Is that the goal still for FaZe no matter what? Even with you newly coming in, the trophy should be what you're aiming for?
I mean, the trophy is the goal. We're not really specifically saying something like that. You know, we didn't have a goal of getting 3-0 groups, and we ended up getting 3-0 groups. So I think not acknowledging the goal might be better, but we're just taking it game by game. It's still, you know, a marathon for us. We just had like a really big change with all the roles and stuff like that, so it's going to take some time, but so far we're playing really well.
And we can see that happening on the server as well. This crowd's been giving a lot of energy for you guys as well. Anything you want to say to all the fans out there?
Yeah, thank you so much, crowd. You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much, everyone that's come out here today. We're going to make a good game for you guys all throughout the way.
Ooh, all throughout the way. I like the sound of that. Cluj, one last time. Give it up for Elige and FaZe Clan.
Yeah, he should be enjoying it. It's been a long time, Elige, for him in a stadium, surrounded by fans chanting his name. He was in that kind of, you know, the NA vortex that just sucks you in. And as one of the greatest players that he produced, if not the greatest, you have to want for him to get onto a roster like FaZe, have that trophy-winning potential again. And by the way, credit to Complexity for allowing him essentially to leave. They didn't put him in contract jail. They went out, they negotiated with FaZe, they got him onto a roster.
Pretty well.
And, you know, I think the whole
but
thing
we'll see how we go against
with
Falcons tomorrow.